So here are all of my encouragements for you all to make terrible decisions, as I am the GM.
Ash has a crossbow bolt in her side, 0 dots in skirmish, and 0 dots in wreck. And I'm so excited to see this get even worse. So that's 1 vote for escalation.
Skelly has 3 guns and all the ammo.
Crossroads has no guns, but Crossroads is a gun powered by ghosts.
Have we established that your guns are special to you? I feel like we're establishing that your guns are special to you.
Before this crew, they were my only friends.
You've known us for 5 days. You've known those guns a lot longer.
These are my babies.
Yeah.
I just want to say, Rowan was starting to do this, and then he realizes to harvest. This doesn't help. Like, don't do that.
This is not.
No.
This is like, don't do
this.
this.
Yeah.
Doing this to an executioner?
Yeah, that's not what you
just
want.
like this, like
We call that the go sign, you know? Like, yeah.
Oh, man.
This theme's great. I will do a fortune roll. Notes. No thoughts. Head empty. 1! I rolled a 1!
Yep.
Oh, hey, guess what is up today? A very special stream. It's all part of a scheme to play games and raise money. Oh, what? Your wallet is tight shut? Then still join our elite. At least send out a tweet. Be dramatic or funny. This fate will be great, just you wait. And if you can donate, we will not peculate. It all goes to speculate. What's first? Arguably the worst. Some Skiffy Fanty friends just playing with pre-gens back from their 3-part one-shot. Again, critical crafting plan with Arvin as GM, Shaun Triffid, Prince Justin, spooky D&D fun plot. This fate will be great, just you wait. And if you can donate, we will not peculate. It all goes to speculate. What's next? Humanity is hexed, but this we know is true. The game Destiny 2 provides sharp conversation. By whom? 3 authors in the room. Greg Wilson should be good. Brendan and Underwood on world-building narration. This fate will be great, just you wait. And if you can donate, we will not peculate. It all goes to speculate. Not least, the last course of this feast. Peanut butter chocolate to Waterdeep's old rut. Blades in the dark adds new twist. Strange friends will be the evening's end. GM'd by Iori should be a great story. So fear no incongruousness. This fate will be great, just you wait. And if you can donate, we will not peculate. It all goes to speculate.
That is what I'm talking about. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, Arvanauts. Welcome, everyone, to the Speculate Fundraiser Marathon 2022. I am very glad, as your host, Arvin Elleron, to welcome everybody to this stream. And I want to, before we go any further, thank the incredible Triffity Mats for that amazing introductory video. The first video is the one we typically do for Speculate. The second video was completely Triffity Mats' brainchild. That was her singing, that was her video work and all that. So that was badass. And she had told me a couple of weeks ago that she had been inspired, and she sent me just the first audio version of this was just being quiet because she didn't want to wake anybody up in the house. And I was like, this is great. And she's like, would you want me to use it? I'm like, absolutely. And then it just got more complex and involved. And the last thing we got was, as you saw, this thing, not just with video clips and stills, but also with actual like captions over the top of it. It was awesome. So thank you very, very much. That was really great. And if that is any sign for what we can expect today, then I think we're going to be in pretty good shape for this. So welcome everybody, and welcome everyone to our Speculate Fundraiser. I am your host, Arvin Eleron, as I said, and this is the show that we do. It's an actual play show, actual play podcast that focuses on story and narrative, specifically in tabletop role-playing games. And we Speculate started life a number of years ago when I started it with Brad Bollier, who still plays on this channel with another game of Adventures of Middle-earth. But at the time, it was an interview show and a kind of discussion of literature show, of a speculative literature show, and it was that way for quite some time. And then about 4 years ago, we transitioned over. We were joined by Michael R. Underwood, and then Mike and I transitioned the show into an actual play show. And of course, now Brad had to step back, and we have now added into the mix over the last couple of years Brandon O'Brien. And so Brandon O'Brien, Michael Underwood, and myself have brought you Speculate. And if you want more deals about that, let me ask you to type in !Speculate like that, and you'll be able to see the links right there. This is a marathon that we are doing to raise funds to be able to support putting out more shows. Basically, there are a number of things we'd like to do. We would like to improve the Speculate website. We would like to add more things into the Patreon. And most of all, we'd like to be able to do more frequent episodes. Currently, we have the amazing Rudy Basso, who edits our shows for us. Rudy is a great podcast editor, but we only have so much money to pay, and so we can only do so many episodes. And we would love to increase that number. We'd love to get you more cool Speculate stuff like this. And so our goal is to reach $500 today. If we can do that, we can produce a lot more with frequent episodes over the next year. And at $1,000, we can produce even more in terms of new projects, things relating to the website, things relating even to particular games that we might choose to take on that we could not do otherwise. So these are things that we'll be able to do. So if you have enjoyed watching Speculate in the past and listening to it, I hope you will consider supporting us here. If you have not done so, I hope you will consider for the first time supporting us on this podcast. If you're like, wow, this is amazing, where can I find more of this kind of stuff? Again, you can find us at speculatesf.com, and you can support us right here. Now, you will notice that there is a link, and it's not there. I will show you in just a moment. I'm going to slide over to the screen where you'll be able to donate, but I believe it's mrucontest@gmail.com, but I will check that link in just a moment. Actually, wait. Let me just double check and make sure that I got that right. I think that's right. Yes, mrucontest@gmail.com. That is where you can donate if you wish to use PayPal. And again, you will see a link to this in just a moment when I go over to the screen where the D&D players are waiting. But you can also support us by going to the Speculate Patreon and supporting us over there. That would also be helpful. Either one of those would count towards this event. So if you give us, say, $50, then we will add that to the total raised. If you contribute like $10 a month, but you sign up for a year so that it's like, it works out to about $120 or something like that, then we will add that to the total. We're going by the honor system here somewhat. Obviously, we'll be able to see when we get PayPal donations and when we get donations to the Patreon, support for the Patreon. But at least initially, what we'd like is for people to just report in chat, I have donated this amount to the Patreon, or I have donated this amount to directly through PayPal, and then we will update that total that has been raised. I should point out, by the way, that, as I said, you can do this for PayPal or Patreon. If you want to do it anonymously, all you have to do is DM me privately. So you can send me a Twitch message. If you're on Discord, you can send me a message on Discord. I am right there at Arvin Eleron. You can see there, you scroll up in chat, and send me a message and say you would like to have something, you'd like to give something anonymously, and then we will be happy to take that from you anonymously. I will just update the total. I will thank the anonymous gifter. So that's totally up to you if you prefer to stay anonymous. Otherwise, please feel free to tell us and, don't put your lead under a bushel. I mean, please feel free to tell us, hey, guess what? I donated and it's awesome and blah, blah, blah. And we will absolutely confirm that it's awesome that way. What we've decided to do basically is that every $200 that we raise, we are going to do a raffle. And we have a number of things that are associated with this raffle that go as follows, as I just pop down here quickly to my mods chat. The raffle prizes are as follows. We have Can You Sign My Tentacle, the award-winning poetry collection from Brandon O'Brien that will be shipped to you. We have the Rearrayus Geekomancy series by one Michael R. Underwood. There is, I think, both the e-version and I believe there's a signed version, although Turbo Tango can confirm, which we can send to you as well if you're in the continental United States. If you're outside the continental U.S., talk to us and we'll have to figure out how to handle shipping and, ways to get your stuff to you. The Icarus and Jelinek graphic novels by some guy called Gregory A. Wilson. Those are physical copies, and I will ship those to you as well everywhere in the continental U.S. and frankly, most places in the world, so long as it's not some like ridiculous, I live in, Iceland or something, or Greenland, or something in the South Pole. In that case, we'd have to talk about it. But otherwise, I will be happy to send those to you. And also a 3-pack, Drift, Monomyth, and 5 Years Later, the 3 albums from my band, The Road. So those are those things. We have Can You Sign My Tentacle? We have the Geekomancy series. We have Icarus and Jelinek, and we have that 3-pack of albums. Those are 4 raffles that will be done once we hit those $200 amounts. So at 200, we'll run one. At 400, at 600, at 800. And when we get to 1,000, we will probably have a surprise at that point. I don't yet know what it will be, but we'll have something. So you'll be able to get that as well. And I am extremely excited for all of that. So those are the basics of how this is going to work. Last thing to note, and then I'm going to go over to my players, we are starting with a Critical Crafting D&D one-shot, and I want to thank Critical Crafting, which has provided us the material for this. It is Folktales of Gristwood. I have partnered with Critical Crafting before. Last year, we did Midwinter's Morning, a one-shot that took 3 sessions to do, but we got it done, and it was a lot of fun, and that was with the same group of players as well, and they have partnered with us again with Folktales of Gristwood, and I would argue that this has some of the best production value that you're going to see in the independent space when it comes to 5e products. So I highly recommend this company. Critical Crafting is someplace that you should check out. It is very, very good work. Dylan Olney and company really do a good job there, and I'm very excited to be able to run a series of encounters from them as part of our opening salvo for the Speculate fundraiser. Again, that's going to be this one-shot called Folktales of Gristwood. At 6 p.m. roughly, we're going to take a break, and we will run a highlight reel from Valoword, the campaign that we ran starting a couple of months ago, and we just had a session of that last night. So we're going to do a little bit of a highlight reel of Valoword, which is one of the Speculate campaigns currently running. Around 6:30 p.m., we will play Destiny 2, myself, joined by Brandon O'Brien and Michael R. Underwood, and I believe Noelle, if I have the name correct, who is going to be talking about the lore of Destiny 2. I have installed it on PlayStation 5. It does indeed work. I have all the things. I have all the IDs and stuff. So that's going to be great. That's going to be happening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And then right around 8:30 p.m., roughly speaking, we are going to take a break. We will have more highlights and things like that. And at 9 p.m. Eastern, we will finish the Speculate Fundraiser Marathon with a Blades in the Deep session featuring the Strange Friends, along with Game Master Iori Kusano, who is one of the Strange Friends, but this time we'll be taking the GM's chair in a mashup, essentially, of Blades in the Dark and Waterdeep, Dragon Heist Waterdeep. So it's going to be really cool. I'm very excited for all of that. So that's what you can look forward to over the course of today, November 12th. So normally I talk about following the channel and all that good stuff, and yeah, you should do that. But most importantly, if you're able to support Speculate, if you want to have access to behind-the-scenes videos, if you want us to produce more shows, and you want to be able to get more of those shows into your podcast box, podcasts have had a big surge as of late in popularity. So if you want all of that, make sure that you join up with us and make sure that you support us today, again, by either going directly and donating to the Patreon, by becoming a Patreon supporter, or by donating directly to the link mrucontest@gmail.com. And I'm going to show you that link in just a moment. So now that I've got all those videos done and ready to go, I am going to unmute myself and apologize if I have interrupted any of the wonderful players, and then I'm going to unmute them. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to head over to reveal. Dun, dun, dun. Here we are. Welcome to the Speculate Fundraiser Marathon Visual Edition. You can actually now see us. We are all here. This overlay, by the way, comes to you courtesy of Turbo Tango. Congratulations on amazing work, as always, Mike. Thank you. Great work from Mike. And you can see the links down there. At SpeculateSF is our Twitter. You can donate via PayPal, mrucontest@gmail.com. And you can, of course, donate directly or support us by going to our Patreon. And if you put in !speculate, you'll be able to head over there to do all of that. So please do donate. Please make sure that we can move up and get you more shows. All of that, any of that money will help. Our goal is $500 and then $1,000, but our initial goal is $500, and we will run our first raffle at $200. And welcome, Raskus/Noelle. Hyped to have you join us and get us all the lore. I'm very excited for that. So, but first, let me talk to my amazing D&D players, and I will start with the person who is responsible for this. Now, listen, I feel like, I think the term you used for this, Trish, was this. I think the term you used was that your muse had inspired you. And that's obviously the case. So first of all, thank you again for doing that. And yeah, like what was it like putting it together? I mean, you know, when are you going to submit it for the Grammy? Like tell me everything about that, and tell the folks who may not know you who you are.
Hi, I'm Trish Matson. I'm a journalist by trade, editor, and I also love music and RPGs. I've been playing since, my teens. As for this video, something got me onto rewatching Gallivant, the intro songs for all the videos on that show, which was a half-hour fantasy musical sitcom. If anyone has not seen it, I highly recommend checking it out. This was shortly after we had been invited. Excuse me. Sorry about my voice. Sometimes it's in good shape and sometimes it is not. I was listening to those songs, and that put me in the mood for writing and editing. And I wrote a poem, and then I figured out music to it. And then I thought, I'm currently job hunting and learning a lot of new skills. Why don't I teach myself to edit a video? And so I did. I used OpenShot on Linux and was editing this video up till about 20 minutes before go time. Sent it to Arvin just in time, but I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And it's fun to have new skills. And I really enjoyed putting it together and sharing it with everybody.
It was awesome. It came out really well. Trish, who are you playing today in our session?
I am playing Valerie the Victorious, a halfling fighter battlemaster, level 6.
Level 6, yeah. There was quite a bit of discussion about which level. It's a long story, But anyway, yes, it will be amazing. But again, thank you for that opening video. It was awesome. It was a great way to get things underway and started. And I'm excited to see what Vivian gets up to today. Moving right down the line, of course, we have Paul Weimer with us. It is good to see you, otherwise known as Prince Justin. Good to see you, Paul. How is life in the universe with you? You did not put together an incredible singing video today, so I can't ask you about that. No. But for those of you who may not know who you are, we want to introduce yourself to the lovely folks who don't yet know you, and who are you playing today?
Okay, I am Paul Weimer, better known on the internet as Prince Justin. If you Google Prince Justin and throw a rock, you'll find book reviews and other things I do all across the internet. I of course show up in the chat on Greg's channel on a regular basis. I play D&D every Saturday night with Christiana Ellis. So I'll be playing 2 games of D&D today after this one and then a later one. I am a former Hugo nominee for Best Fan Writer. I've been playing D&D as long as Trish has. So I do lots of things all over the internet. I talk science fiction, I talk books, and I'm also an amateur photographer. This is not photography behind me. This is AI art, just in case you know. Who I'm playing today? I am bringing back my blue dragonborn Tempest Cleric Illyrian Blue Water, who likes to shock things with electricity, and is hoping that there will be things there to bring up the tempest inside of him. So we'll see what happens.
We will see. It's good stuff. Also, and yeah, amateur photographer, but like, I don't know. It's kind of like calling a Lamborghini a car. Like, I mean, yes, that's true, but
okay,
very good photographer. Very good.
You're very kind. Thank you.
Very good. I support Paul's Patreon as well. You should also, because it's very good stuff, and I get incredibly awesome pictures as well that I get to look at. But besides all the other amazing review work that Paul does. Thank you, Paul. Good to see you. And last but certainly not least, we have the incredible Shaun Duke. I appreciate the hat, by the way, Shaun. I have some appreciation for these kinds of hats as well. So good stuff. It's good to see you as well. And same question to you. Please introduce yourself to those who may not yet know you on the channel who are viewing currently. And please, who are you playing in our session today?
Well, hi, I'm Shaun. I am your resident chaos agent today.
In every game you are.
Well, yeah, I'm basically a cat. Anyway, so I'm probably best known for the Skiffy and Fanty Show, which is a podcast where we talk about genre fiction things. Two of the other people here have been on that show. Arvin is not. You've not been.
I don't think I have yet.
No, well, they're gonna have to solve that problem. Yeah, so that's mostly what I do. By day, I'm a professor, which may or may not have been someone else's mistake. What?
A doctor of.
I mean, I got a PhD. It's not like everyone has one of those. It's not that big a deal anymore.
Everyone has one of those. Can't walk outside the door without tripping over a PhD.
I mean, given how the English PhD market works, almost.
Oh God, yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of what I do all the time, and then I just sit on Twitter, so you can find me places. It's easy.
You also stream, Shaun, don't you?
I know. Yeah, I'm also Alphabet Streams, so you can find me there where I do stuff.
That's true. I have lurked and participated in those streams before. They talk about books and various things. They play Grim Dawn. Sometimes they do some PUBG, and so it's always fun time. You should stop over there. Yeah, the classic, the classic of PUBG.
I just love that game, just because you can just make fun of the way it's spelled. We call it Purger.
Purger.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their different sort of pronunciation of what is fundamentally a silly acronym. Yeah, I totally agree.
And then I am playing Sir Reginald Bartholomew III, who is a tiefling bard of valor, who has an unnatural relationship with a regular-sized harp.
Yes, although at regular size, despite having dragged it through half the snow and things like that in our previous sessions. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm sure, I imagine that Reginald doesn't go anywhere without the harp, so I imagine the harp has been brought. I don't think there's any question about that. So this is our crew of folks, and it is a pleasure to bring them here. Also, I want to thank our first donator was Paul, so thank you. We are $10 out of 500. Thank you very much for doing that. We are 190 away, chat, from our first raffle of the day. Please, again, as a last reminder, and I promise I will only bring this up every 5 minutes now, but please, when you donate, please let folks know either through a private message to me and just say, I'd like to keep it anonymous, or you can put it in chat and say, I just donated the amount, whatever the amount is, towards the fundraiser, and then we will update the total accordingly. At 200, we will do our first raffle, and the first giveaway item, I think, will be one Brandon O'Brien's Can You Sign My Tentacle? Signed. Can you sign my tentacle? Signed by. Think of the, it's just signing all the way down. It's signception. Signception. But anyway, so that'll happen when we get to the $200 level. So, all right, let's get into it, players. And just as a quick check on hit points too, I still have your hit points from the last time we played, which was like 15 out of 39. It was a long time ago. So now that you're all healed and hale and hearty, Reginald, what are your hit point totals as we speak?
I should be at 39.
Are you, because you were, right, because you're still at, and did we decide you were going to be at level 6 or level 5? Where'd you put yourself to, Shaun?
Oh, I just assumed we were going to be our same levels.
Okay, so level 6?
Level 6,
okay,
yeah.
so 39. All right.
Yeah.
So And then for Illurian, you were at 18 out of 45. Are you back up to 45?
I'm back up to 45 in level 6. Yep.
Lovely. Okay. And last, Vivian, you were at 49 out of 58. I'm remembering now that in the last fight, you took very little damage and just sort of crushed it, I think is what happened in that last fight. So you're at 58 out of 58 in level 6 too, yes?
Correct.
Lovely. All right, let's get started. Chat, I'm going to throw on some music here. Let's get us some awesome ambient from Greenforge Studio. Some tavern ambient music and sound. There we go. All right. There's no game, actually. We're just going to listen to them playing, sadly, the fiddle for 3 hours. No. Okay. So, we find ourselves, chat, and the characters find themselves sitting in a well-known tavern within the town of Gristwood. Now, Gristwood is a strange town. Everyone knew that it was strange before the players even came here, the characters even came here. In fact, I'm going to ask them, I'm going to throw them a curveball and ask them what the hell they're doing in Gristwood in the first place in just a moment. But it is a strange farm town that is located in an eternally autumnal wood. The townsfolk have always been considered a bit odd by those in the surrounding area, in part because they are generally not opposed to accepting creatures into the community that others would consider monstrous, dangerous to the general public. Gristwood is not really so much that way. The people dedicate most of their waking hours to planting and caring for their fields and farms and harvesting nuts and berries from the nearby woods and petting giant wargs as they wander through the streets of town. Just like a standard farm town, but slant, right? Not quite on. And preparing, of course, and this is what Gristwood is best known for, the once-a-year gathering of a great harvest and the celebration of their oldest holiday, Unhallowed Eve. It is a celebration during the harvest season, in which crops are gathered and stored, and feasts are put on, and harvesters can relax after long seasons of toil. Often children will go door to door dressed as various monsters, requesting sweets. This was a tradition that began as a way to confuse monsters, which would examine the small monster only to find a small child instead. And the Unhallowed Eve celebrations, it is said, are not to be missed, unless you get a little freaked out by semi-spooky stuff. There are some rumors of, curses and, but I mean, I'm sure this is just clearly not accurate. I mean, it's just the kind of jealous stuff you hear from towns that don't have as good a tourism board as what you get in Gristwood. Which leads me to the question of you sitting in the local tavern here in Gristwood, and I have a question for the characters, which is, why are you here? What exactly brought you to Gristwood after your after the events of Midwinter's Morning? Sure, whoever.
There's a local harp competition, and I'm here to enter.
Outstanding.
Well, at least that's a sensible reason that we're here. You forget what happened in the Dragon Princess's city and why we had to leave in the middle of the night. It's your fault.
It's not my fault he doesn't like harp music.
You played it in the 2 in the morning.
I have to practice. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, this should be a nice, quiet town where the agents of the city will not find us, and you can enter your harp competition.
So, are you on the run? Is it fair to say, or
yeah,
just
we're on the run again?
Yeah, more like slinking away quietly.
I see.
Some of us are not that
pell-mell.
slinky.
And you figured Gristwood was a good way to kind of lay low then until sort of the heat died down a bit.
There's plenty of monsters and weird things here. We'll blend right in.
That's right.
That's perfect. Well, so you're sitting in the tavern preparing yourselves to blend in. In fact, you're enjoying the entertainment for the evening. The drink is good. The food and the hearth are warm. Thanks to your wonderful work at Midwinter's Morning. Of course, you were given lots of support and encouragement and, more importantly, some funding from the folks of Midwinter. And so you were able to make your way here to Gristwood, and you're able to afford fairly good accommodations. The sounds of merriment are surrounding you. There are some children excitedly preparing themselves for the trick-or-treats to come, as they call them. And as all of this is happening, you can hear an older man by the fire. Now, this old man you've actually known since you've entered the town a day or so ago. His name is Old Grit. And Old Grit is sitting by the fire. And Old Grit is well known for being probably older than the town and conceivably immortal. I mean, it's possible. Like, pretty much everyone is just like, oh yeah, my great-grandfather said he looked exactly the same way he does now. So no one really knows. He's just been around a very long time. And everyone listens to them on the rare occasions that he chooses to speak. This is one of those nights. And as he begins to speak, a hush falls over the whole of the tavern. And he says, "You don't want to venture through the hollow outside of Gristwood at night. Nay. The whole of the hollow from here to the old bridge is haunted. On nights like these, close to unhallowed eve, when the moon is full, the horseman rides atop his huge steed, holding a great flaming pumpkin aloft. He lost his head many years ago, they say. And now..." And he swings around to look at the children who are, like staring at him. "Now it's said he takes," and several children fall backwards in horror, "the heads of any who journey into those woods after dark with his vorpal axe." And he makes that sound, and several of the kids cower. A couple of the adults seem to be smiling along with this. "I hear tell some foolish folk believe a treasure lies in that hollow, that it's only visible in the light of the full moon. But if you dare venture into the hollow there, beware, for it's your own head you may lose, lest you can make it back to the bridge that lies some yards beyond." Now, the end of this tale is followed by some hushed exclamations as some of the tavern goers kind of are like, well, look at the time. Like some people like just sort of like getting ready to go a little bit earlier and maybe take the safer roads back home. A couple people go up to talk to the innkeeper about whether they have any extra rooms. They don't, but whether they have any extra rooms because, just they suddenly have an urge to stay over the night, that type of thing. And Old Grit sort of sits there looking rather smug, you might say, by the fire. As you're sitting there watching him, you actually, I'll have all three of you make a perception check for me, please, if you would be so kind. All right, we have a 17 from Elorian. We have got is that just a straight 9 for, I think you're muted, Trish. Is that a straight 9 from Vivian? Or?
Straight 9, no bonuses.
Okay, straight 9. You seem to be more interested in the food at the moment, I would say, Vivian. And then, of course, Reginald immediately. I was so tempted to be like, you hear of mysterious music behind you. God damn it, you followed me. No, that doesn't happen. But what you do see, actually, is a woman standing by the window looking out into the street beyond. It is, I should say, about maybe 8 o'clock, you might say, so it is definitely dark now. Not late, but dark. And you can see she's looking out, and she seems to be very agitated. Both you and Elorian, I would say, would notice this, that she's very agitated and kind of wringing her hands. And I would say also that probably both you and Reginald and Elorian probably both noticed, too, that she was one of the only adults in the place, one of the only people, that wasn't really focused a lot on the story, like wasn't paying a lot of attention to this tale from Old Grit. She was just, kind of looking out that way. And so there was that. And the last thing I want to note is that at a table right next to you, there is a person who has been human, thin human with ratty black hair, who looks as if he's been sort of slumped over his mug. Not really, he's moving, but I mean like he's sort of like staring down at this mug. And every so often you think you hear like maybe a muffled sob from him. So you've got a muffled sob from the ratty, dark-haired guy sitting at the table next to you. You have the woman wringing her hands looking out into the street. And you have Old Grit and the story you just heard from him by the fire. What would you like to do, players?
Elorian, please bring my harp. And I
Where-
slink over slowly, kind of bard-like, with like a little charm, and begin playing my harp while Illyrian pushes it over to the woman at the window.
Oh, okay. So
I swear this thing's heavier than the last time I did
It has
this.
wheels.
And that was in
Just
snow.
angle it. Just angle it. Come on.
is it now? Do you literally like come up right behind her and then just start playing? Like how close are you?
Like kind of to the side so she can see me out of her peripheral vision. You know, like I don't want to be creepy.
Right. She pays zero attention to you, Reginald.
I gently tap her on the shoulder.
Ah. Oh. Yes, sir. What is it?
I think music may be lost on her, Reginald.
These-
You might try words. I don't know. I'm a simple cleric. You're the base of this party.
Okay, all right. So I stop playing and I just look at her and go, "Tell me what's up, dear. Why are you not enjoying this amazing new wave harp music I've been putting together?"
Oh, well, I'm sure it's fine, sir, but I'm worried. You see, I can't concentrate on anything really. They haven't come back. It's my little Francine. You know, she was supposed to be back by now. I was going to take her to go dress up, you know, and go from door to door, and she hasn't come here, and I don't know where she is. She's a sensible child. She always knows to get back in before it gets this late, and I don't know where she is. I should go find her, but, well, her father's not here either, and he said he was going to go seek her out, and he hasn't come back, and, well, I just don't know what to do.
Okay, so what I hear is you've lost a child and you've lost a husband.
Well, I hope, yeah, I don't know where they are, yes.
Okay. We got you. All right. Illyrian?
You have them?
No, we don't got, not at the moment. No, but we're going to get them.
Could you describe your child and your husband to us, please?
Oh, yes, well, my husband, yes, well, he's Joe. Joe's a good man. He's strong, he is, very strong, and he's got, well, sandy red hair and freckles, sir, and, well, he works with me at the farm, so he's a strong sort, and, well, he would have taken our mule to find her, and, well, you'll know him, there's no one else exactly like him, he's very friendly, too, doesn't say a whole lot, but what he says is always meaningful. He's a good man. And as for my Francine, well, she has the same kind of red hair that he does. Oh, bless the child. And the same freckles, too. A lot of energy. She's always running about, always excited. She's 8 years old, sir. And, like I say, she's very sensible, and this isn't like her at all. Sometimes she watches after the other little ones. They'll lose their heads, but not her. But she just... I don't know what's happened to her. That's who they are. You can call them by their names, Joe and Francine. They'll come right to you. I hope they'll come back to me. She kind of looks back out the window again.
Can you describe the mule?
And I don't think there's that many mules in town.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the mule has red hair too and freckles. Like, that might be useful information to distinguish between other mules.
And she looks over at you and is like, No, sir. It's our gray mule. We call her Molly. She likes sugar cubes.
Would they have come? Would they have come from your home? And which direction is your home?
Well, she was out actually at the fields, was looking at some of the harvest and then was coming back. But that was hours ago. At the fields, not far outside town. Joe came from the house here to find me at the tavern. And then when she wasn't there, he said he was going to go find her. And that was a couple hours ago now. He took Molly and rode off. And I haven't seen him since. But they said she should have been up at the fields coming this way into town. And that's where he would have gone too, I think.
And why are you here? at the tavern?
She says, because my husband told me to stay, and because I was afraid if I went looking for them too, well, what if Francine comes back in the meantime, and then I'm not here either? It's just the three of us, and nothing like this has ever happened before. Gristwood is a safe town. It's a little strange things happen sometimes, but it's still pretty safe.
Well, what exactly is strange about this? Like, give me your most strange. What's the most strange thing you remember?
Well, it's really, sir, the attitude. Some people think it's odd, for example, that we allow a banshee to act instead of a rooster, but I'll tell you right now, the banshee wakes everyone up, sure as you like, much better than any rooster and much more reliable, straight there every morning. But some people think that's odd. I just think their attitude's strange, sir. That's really the bit of it. Reactions from other people about things that happen here. That's the most strange. Life is strange itself, I think, don't you?
Yes, our lives in particular have been strange. But we will find your husband, and we will find your daughter in short order.
Oh, I'm so
We
grateful
will at least
to you.
look for them.
You'll have our finest harvest. We've actually harvested some excellent pumpkins and gourds, and we'd be happy to provide them to you. I can prepare them in a delicious way. I can even make them so they'll be preserved for you. I don't have a lot of money though. I hope that's all right.
I am a devotee of Bahamut. Bringing your daughter and your husband to safety, to the warmth of your heart, is a reward.
Oh, bless you for being so good. I knew when I started hearing the music that, well, only good people would have someone play music for them like this. It's very kind of you all to do this, and so generous that you've brought along a musician to accompany you in your heroism.
Reginald is very good musician as accompaniment.
Well, that is true. I am the best harp player in all the land. But the more important note is I will take payment in the form of a squash ocarina.
Oh, a squash ocarina. Well, I may be able to arrange that, sir. It'll take a little while, but I'm sure we have bins and bins of them back at the farm, sir. It'll be worth it. And yes, of course. Just please bring them back safe.
All right. We're gonna go look for this kid, your husband, and we'll find the mule too.
And she says, that would be wonderful. Oh, I'm so relieved. Please tell them that they need to come back right away. If Francine has acted silly and is playing or something, I can't imagine she'd do that. But if she is, just tell her she's got to come here immediately. And and she just sort of, thank you so much. And she sort
I'll put a hand on her shoulder. Rest at ease. We are on the mission.
Okay.
I'll turn towards my companions. Do we want to talk to the storyteller before we go, since we are going abroad at apparently a propitious night, or shall we just go forth into the darkness and find these missing people?
Well, I think you've heard his warning, but I, for one, am going up to my room and getting my extra weapons, since I don't normally sit around the tavern all armored up and wearing every weapon that I have. Hopefully we won't need them weapons, but
let's prepare and then we'll go. So I think we're gathering our adventuring gear, and we're going to be setting out in short order, DM.
All right. Excellent. Then I will say welcome to the people who just jumped in. Rudnell, good to see you. The donor linkage you can actually see right below the Twitch chat. So we have it starts at 3. No, it's a marathon. We go 3 to 6, and then Destiny 2 is 6:30 to 8:30, and then 9 o'clock is the Strange Friends session tonight. So the donation link, if you're interested, it's mrucontest@gmail.com. That's if you want to donate directly through PayPal, or you can support the Patreon, and if you just tell us the amount that you've contributed to the Patreon, then we will refresh that, and we'll refresh the number, and our first giveaway will be at $200. We're going to do a giveaway every $200. And welcome. And again, folks, I am joined by the amazing Triffany Mats, Prince Justin, and Alphabet Streams, otherwise known as Trish, Paul, and Shaun, as you see on your screen, playing respectively Vivian the Victorious, Illyrian Bluewater, and Sir Reginald Bartholomew III, greatest accompanist in all the land. And this is, of course, the critical crafting adventure, Folktales of Gristwood. Okay, so the party sets out, and the sun, as you know, has set already. And you are surrounded as you walk, as you head out towards the fields, which are to the north, basically, of where the tavern sits. It's to the northeast of the town. And thank you, Big Boss. To donate anonymously, you can DM me directly. That's right. Thank you. In fact, I should, now that I think of it, pull up my messages so I can see when that happens. I was like, there's a bunch of people, hey, I want to give you, okay. I've pulled that up now just in case. Okay, so as you're walking along, you hear you're surrounded by a cool mist. It's actually been unseasonably warm for this time of the year, but not now. As you walk along in the evening, you feel as if fall has descended with a vengeance, and you can feel this cool mist kind of almost seeping into your bones. And as you walk along, leaving behind the tavern music in the background, you can hear what sounds more or less like eerie music, an eerie sound that is drifting eerily through the cold night air. And it sounds like a song of some kind, like a kind of lullaby. And it sounds a little bit like, "Child, you are fine here. Child, you are fine here." Sort of like that. You can make out the words, kind of. It sounds like a very, very strange lullaby. And as you get a little bit closer to the sound, you can see something perhaps a bit strange. I am going to move you over to our map. You see something strange. It is a massive creature, seemingly formed of pumpkins and gourds, its carved eyes glowing with an inner light. There are ravens pecking at its back and settling on the massive scythe that it holds in its viney hand. And in its other hand, the creature is holding a absolutely petrified child, dressed in a skeletal costume several feet off the ground. And you're not sure about this because it's still a little dark, but you think it's the one humming, "You are safe here, my child." And the child just is like, you can't really make out the expression very well because it's, again, darkness, whatever, but it's actually kind of lit by the bright light within this massive creature. And I think I have a picture. In fact, I showed you folks some of it already, but I'll show it again. I'm going to be popping this up onto the stream so that the folks can see it. Let's see. It looks exactly like this, chat.
Dun, dun.
Side note, anytime that I get the chance to actually show this picture off, I will do so. I freaking love this image.
Yeah, it's pretty epic.
Yeah, like that art, Dylan, that art is just unbelievable. Anyway, so that is literally what you see.
Am I to understand that we are now on a second, totally normal trip in which some sort of giant supernatural creature is singing about children?
Yes.
Seems about right.
Why does this happen to us all the time? I don't know, but it does.
What is going on? What is this conspiracy that we have found ourselves in? This is bonkers.
I mean, listen, if you keep finding them, I wonder if there's a certain constant.
That's not my fault. I just came to be in a harp competition, and now we've got giant pumpkin monsters holding petrified children's bodies in the air and singing songs to kids. It's bizarre.
I'm here with you.
Perhaps you might want to try to convince the the creature to let the child down because the child is clearly not in. This is not a consensual singing competition.
Yeah, let's talk to this big fella and let him know that we can take the kid home to their mom, and then they'll be fine.
Is the child red-haired? Or is this a different child?
No, you think actually that it does maybe seem to have red hair, although it's kind of lit in the orangish light, so it's a little hard to tell, whether that's what you're actually looking at. But it does seem to be a girl. You can see the sort of long hair flowing, and you think so based on just the features and so on. But again, is just sort of like, as you get closer, you can actually at least see glowing out of the orange light from the creature, just sort of this wide-eyed expression, and is just like hanging there.
I will boom out my voice, Francine.
And immediately the one, you will, and then stops and turns towards you. And
I'm not a talker, so while the dialogue begins, I want to look around and see if I see the dad or the mule anywhere around here.
So I will say that you can see this that I've just pinged. This is a wagon. And right next to the wagon, actually, I guess you'd have to go over and look at it. But there's a wagon that is clearly like sort of half broken down and just sort of sitting there. And it looks, although you can't quite be sure, as if there are what looks like might have been reins or like rope ties or something, which have been clearly that are not functional. You can see them like hanging off the edge of it. So you'd have to get close, Vivian, and like investigate a little bit to see what happened. No sign of a mule or a dad, but there is this wagon.
Wow.
I'll stay with the group for the moment.
Okay.
When you said petrified, just for clarity, you just mean frozen.
Actually, stone. No. Yeah, just like frozen in fear, like really terrified. If
Got it. Okay. Do you mean like literally frozen, or do you mean just like they're moving
and also
but like they're scared?
Frozen? Yeah, it's important. Okay. No, they appear to be completely of flesh and blood, not frozen or anything else, but they are freaked out.
Got it. So there's a little bit of like motion in the body.
Yes.
Got it. It's not like okay. What I'm trying to figure out is if it's like under some sort of spell.
No, you don't get that impression. They are dangling though from one part of their like skeletal costume, as this creature is like, and I am here.
Excuse me, sir. That belongs to us. If you wouldn't mind, could we please have it back? In exchange, I will play a really good ditty on my harp.
And so
push the harp.
Okay. So you brought there was very important. Big Boss wanted to make sure you were carrying the harp.
Oh God!
So
wait, Illyrian was.
Yeah.
Puts it down on the ground.
God.
Over the field.
Over the field. So
at least it's not snow this time.
That's true. Just mud. And no, I'm just kidding. No, there's no mud this time. So yeah. So when you say this, Reginald, it kind of looks towards you and then sort of swivels, almost tilts really its massive head, and one of the ravens, like kind of is slightly, disturbed for a moment, then settles back down and begins to peck away at its head. And the creature looks at you and says, and waits.
Sing your request to him.
Wow,
Good
we're gonna do this
thinking,
again.
Vivian.
Okay.
I didn't say
Wow.
anything.
Again.
That was Vivian's idea.
I've just, I'm not just here for your all's entertainment. I'm just saying.
Yes, you are.
No.
That's why we're here.
Okay,
And also
Illyrian,
raise
I
money.
get it.
Please donate. Speculate.
Okay. I pull up the harp. Start playing a little bit on there, little harp music.
Little harp music.
Please, sir, would you give us that child? We like it very much, and we want to keep it.
And the creature sort of it's like it's processing and then kind of nods its massive head and goes He's sort of like moving, turning like that. And the child is sort of dangling back and forth, still like looking around. It does not release the child, but it also doesn't,
I'm going to move to underneath the child.
You're going to move to underneath the child. Okay.
Now, important here, Lurian, what is your kind of disposition? Like, do you have like full weapons? Like, or like,
no,
what are you?
No, my weapons are not drawn yet.
Okay. So as you get close to it, the massive creature kind of sort of swivels its massive head to you and kind of takes a step back and looks down at you and goes,
I'm sorry, I don't sing, but please the child off of your string.
And so it kind of looks over at the child and then back to you and sort of looks and then starts humming. Everybody hurts. He starts singing. So, and when he says that last part, like the blast almost like blows the child back a little bit, and then looks back at you, Alorian.
Alorian's better at music than his player.
Quick note that if you want to just say that you're singing this, that's okay.
I'm singing it.
That's fine.
But I'm also tone deaf, so I'm doing the best I can.
You don't have to say. It's up to you. You can just tell me you're singing if you want.
No, okay. So Alorian's trying to sing. He's got something he's picked up from Reginald over the years. We're here from the child's mother. We wanted to bring her back to the mother. The mother is worried and heartsick. We want to reunite them really quick.
And so the kind of looks down at you sort of slowly, and its kind of great jack-o'-lantern eyes narrow slightly. And then it says, kind of looks and hums at you and says, all by herself. She was all by herself. Yes, she was. And then looks back at you.
We understand. We thank you for your help. We will now help the child. We thank you for ourselves, but we will take the child to warmth and safety now, and your guardianship can be now disavowed.
And he shakes his head and he points off in the direction, actually a little bit farther northeast of here, down the path. And he says, fly into the danger zone. Fly into the danger zone. And points up at the path up there to the northeast.
So he's pointing farther away from the town?
Yes. And in fact, he's pointing, having crossed over this, in the direction of a bridge.
Of a certain bridge.
Oh.
Right.
So am I understanding then, in this odd singing competition that I've weirdly bowed out of somehow,
you can join in anytime.
He's not giving us the kid back. Is that my feeling?
Make an insight check for me, please, Reginald. And I'm going to come to Vivian in just a second because I know you wanted to check out that wagon, so I'll come back to you in a second. Beetlejuice middled this routine. Yeah, probably. That's what we need is Beetlejuice here.
Where's my... Oh, that one. Okay. Oh, 17.
All right. Your sense of this, Reginald, is... I mean, you don't obviously don't know exactly what this creature is, but it is pretty sizable and could do a lot of damage and could have just obliterated this child already. You don't know whether you maybe need to convince it, him, her. You don't know whether you need to convince it or something, but it seems to be protective, like it's worried about this kid for some reason. But you don't really have any sense of, it's not that it's saying like, no, it's mine forever, I'm going to go eat it. Like, you don't get that vibe that it's doing that, but it does seem quite protective and worried about something.
I think, Reginald, it's time for you to step up and sing and convince this creature to release the child. That's the thing.
And
Interesting.
the creature says, can't touch this. Can't touch this.
Your turn, Reginald. Do it.
Oh, wait, no, before Reginald does that, I did promise I want to go to Vivian just quickly.
Sorry, Vivian.
Let me go to Vivian quick. So, Vivian, when you go over to the wagon and you are over sort of looking down at this thing, I need you to make an investigation check for me, please.
Okay. Wait, what's my investigation? Nothing.
I don't want to make chat do this, but I do love critical crafting suggestion. If you see that, Sean, in chat is very funny.
I'm just 15. Not musical. I never think of this.
Okay, so let's see. So a couple things you can note for sure, Vivian. First of all, the rope has been violently ripped off from its moorings, basically its attachments to the cart. And the cart itself, like the front of the cart, the wheel is broken in. If you had to guess, you think that something tore off and then went off the road, and then the wheel basically gave way, because the wagon is not intended to be like high-speed chase material. And then whatever was pulling it also pulled away. And you can see tracks in the direction to the northeast of the path, like going down the path to the northeast.
Just hoof marks or big monster marks?
There are hoof marks, but there are multiple hoof marks. So if you go over to the road, I'll give you an opportunity to do another investigation check here, but this is going to be a difficult one because it's kind of confusing what these tracks are. I will, however, let chat know that if chat wishes, they could use inspiration, if they have any, to inspire the players here and inspire Vivian in this check. You can get that by supporting our channel. But today, I will tell you something additional, which is that if you are willing to contribute $10, or more, of course, to the Speculate Fundraiser, that will get you an inspiration, which you can then use to benefit the players. So if you would like to inspire them, now is your chance. You can support our fundraiser, and you can support the players. So you can do that as well. Well, and Configuration Queen can also redeem Arvanaut inspirations. That's another method that also works. So I will take that. So then Configuration Queen, if you wish, you can also inspire Vivian. Do you wish to do that? That's a lot of channel points. Just waiting for confirmation from CQ. Yes? Okay. All right. You've been inspired. So you can do this at advantage if you wish, Vivian. Thank you, CQ.
Do I just roll D20 twice?
Yeah, just twice, basically. And, yeah.
Oh, wait. I could use Halfling Inspiration on that.
Oh, thank you, Prince Justin.
I mean, Halfling Luck.
Yes, you can. That is very true.
So I will just re-roll that. I have not yet used my inspiration.
And you have no intelligence bonus or anything for this? Okay. Yeah. So what you can say is there are lots and lots and lots of these hoof prints, but it's all very confused. You don't know if something like made whatever this is stampede, and to kind of like run in direction or run around or move around or what the case may be. You're not 100% sure. We are, however, sure that Rudnell is now a $10 patron. So I will add that to the total. Did you do this? Now, Rudnell, let me ask you, because it affects the overall total. Did you, I'm just resetting that. So does this mean, I see that number, thank you very much. Does that mean that you supported it for a few months? Just so I can put in the total, the complete total into our total raised. And thank you, Rudnell, very much for doing that. So you just let me know what the total amount turns out to be, just so I can adjust that total when you get a chance. And thank you, Rudnell, for doing that. So yeah, so it's almost like there's a bunch of these things like stamping around and all, like a bunch of these prints before it heads off in that direction. It's a lot of hoof prints. So maybe it was like really freaked out, but yeah. as you're pondering that, let me jump back over to Reginald. What did you want to say/sing?
So I pull out my harp, give him a sensual bard look. Not sensual. No, let's not go with sensual. I'm backtracking on the sensual. Let's not do sensual. I don't need to woo a pumpkin monster. We're good. Let's go for contemplative with a side of literary.
Okay.
Yeah. And I gently point to the child and I say, "Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? Isn't she precious? She needs to go back to her mom."
And so the creature sort of looks down at you and sort of, now it's holding the scythe with one hand. One of the ravens caws at you from the back of its head, and sort of looks down at you and holding the child and seems to be thinking about it, and then says, "Very superstitious, wash your face and hands. 50 months of maybe," and then goes on from there, basically, and he's sort of looking up the road. You get the impression, though, Reginald, that he's sort of like, it's sort of like looking down at you, thinking about it, looking up at the path, like you're making it think, for whatever that works out to.
Ah, great. Okay. All right. I got this.
So this is, sorry, just one quick note. So it turns out that according to Rudnell, that's basically annual. So if that's $10 a month, then we're looking at, that's a $120 donation total for the year. So thank you, Rudnell. That is extremely generous. As always, Rudnell has always been super generous. Thank you very much. So that's $130, folks. That's amazing. So we are now only $70 away from that first raffle, the first giveaway of a signed copy of Can You Sign My Tentacle from Brandon O'Brien. So you will definitely want that. Thank you, Rudnell. That's awesome. Thank you so much. And I understand if acts of Bob happen, like totally get it. Okay. So anyway, so thank you again. So yeah, so it says that, and you get the impression that it's thinking it through, and, looks up again towards the northeast, looks back towards you. The child now you can see is sort of recovered enough to kind of semi look over at you, and you can see kind of gleaming in the light, a dirty and freckled faced child looking at you.
How you doing? You doing okay up there?
Like that's all you get is in the great glowing light of the of this creature.
Great. Okay. So, Mr. Pumpkin Monster, or if you prefer, Pumpkin Person, Pumpkin Creature, Pumpkin Individual, whatever you would prefer. Let me make sure I understand what you're asking here. You want us to go across the bridge and then to come back. Now, if we do that, am I to understand that you're just going to hang on to the kid, but we'll get it when we come back? Is that what's happening now? We've got a history with things wanting to steal kids, and I just want to know, can I trust you?
And so it sort of looks down at you, and then kind of, again, eyes sort of narrow as if it's trying to figure things out. And then looks up that way, and it says, "Much too dangerous, much too dangerous, much too dangerous, much too dangerous, much too," like that. But seems to be sort of saying this to you as much as to the kid, like is sort of looking up at the bridge and basically being like,
I got it. I think you figured this out. I just want you to know, when I've been talking, this is actually my new single that I may be putting out, which is a rap song. Unfortunately, Alurian can't beatbox, so. But I just want you to imagine there's a beat behind all of that the whole time. Great. So, hang on to the kid for us. Maybe give it some pumpkin pie. Sorry. Pumpkin pie. Yeah, you're not going to feed it parts of yourself. I get it. Yeah. Just funny joke among my people. It's all
sort
good.
of like stares at you, like.
Yeah, I don't know. Feed it something not from a member of your immediate family. Like some wheat. give it some cookies or something. You know, just like hang on to the kid for a little
Why
bit.
can't you get it to let the kid go? We can take it back to its mom, and then.
So you like yelling across the road to me? And I turn back and
I
go,
want to take the
yes.
kid back now. I don't want to go off and just leave the kid here.
I think if we just let it hang on to the kid for a little bit, it'll just be easier than trying to convince this thing that only operates in song to let the kid go. Like, the communication
Kids like doing this, by the way,
here.
as you're saying this, like, is kind of like looking at you like in horror.
Like,
Kid is not happy. Put kid down.
no kid is happy. It needs to listen to what the adults are saying. Like, come on.
The creature starts singing, kid's gonna be all right. Kid's gonna be all right. Can you hear me? Gonna feel me? Gonna be all right. Kid's gonna be all right.
Yeah, I think the kid's going to be all right.
But again, now, and I do want to point out, incidentally, Vivian, I'm not, this is not actually putting up a wall. You do get the impression that the creature is like, it's amenable to being persuaded one way or the other. It's just very, very worried about letting the child go into this dangerous place, or it's doing an incredible job of fooling you all. But
I got. Why don't you convince the creature to bring the child to the inn?
That's a very solid plan, and I am so glad that I thought of it.
Even alluring with his intelligence of 8 knows that you're BSing him. Just gonna point that out.
I don't know. I don't know if you can tell the difference at that level, but sure. I'll give it a try. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna give it a try. So I turn back to Pump Squatch. I'm gonna call him Mr. Pump Squatch right now. That's okay, Mr. Pump Squatch. Is that cool with you?
and it kind of looks down at you, narrows its eyes again as if, and doesn't know what to say, although I'm so tempted to do critical craftings. I heard there was a secret chord Bartholomew played and it pleased God, Lord. It's good stuff. I love it.
Oh God, this is hilarious.
Anyway, so it sort of doesn't do anything either way. It doesn't seem angry, but it just sort of is trying to figure it out.
All right, Pump Squatch. Listen to this. Lyrian, will you give me a sick beat? Okay. Just imagine that's like a really good Avril Lavigne pop punk beat. That's what I want you to all think right now. And so I look up at it and say, "Hey, you! We're gonna take the kid now. No way, gonna take him back to town now." And then just imagine that the rest of the song is me just singing that song by Avril Lavigne.
I would like you to make, please, a persuasion check for me.
God. I'm trying to think of the best song I could come up with that would work for this.
Why you gotta go make things so complicated, right?
Can I pass my inspiration that I haven't used to Sir Reginald?
God. Yes, you can use it on other people as long as it's not on yourself.
All right, I passed my inspiration to Sir Reginald.
Okay.
I mean, what does that add to this?
Means you do it.
You roll twice and take the better roll.
Oh, got it. Okay, well, I'm probably not gonna need it, but
wow. All right, so that 25 is what I see there.
Yeah.
I believe our children are our future as long as they're not stuck with a cord lord. So you say that, and the creature's looks down and sort of looks at the kid and then looks at you and says, points at you and the kid and says, "It's going home, going home. You will take them going home." Mm-hmm. And it's sort of looking at you. It might be a question, Reginald, maybe?
Yes. Say yes. Say yes.
Hold on, I'm trying to think of the right song for it. All right, now I need.
And then it starts saying, "Say what you need to say. Say what you need to say. Say what you need to."
So I need you all to just imagine this, because I literally can't make it sound anywhere near like the song. But there's an early 2000s pop beat with echo. I'm going to mimic the echo that is in the song, and I go, yeah, 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 and it's Usher. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you do that, and all of a sudden the creature goes, okay. Okay. So
Her house is a very, very, very,
Very
fine
fine
house.
house.
that's a good one. I love the fact that that's going over Little John going, hey, yeah. All right. So okay. So he lowers the child. White, he goes, what? So he lowers the child in front of him. We're so far off the rails. Lowers the child in front of him, in front of it, and to the ground slowly. And upon doing so, Francine just kind of like sort of stumbles to her knees and then looks down and sort of stands up and nods at you and takes several steps back and then points up at the path and goes, no, no, notorious, notorious, and points up at the path again. And then it sort of folds its arms as the ravens peck at its head.
Okay,
Right.
so we're going to take this kid back to town, and then we may come back and investigate.
Up the path.
I think that's fair.
Right.
What does a pump squatch eat?
Offal.
Sunlight.
Offal and sunlight.
Really?
Yes.
That seems very boring. Would
Not-
it like a wheat cookie?
No, Sean.
You
No,
don't think the
Reginald.
pump squatch? It's got a mouth. It could chew, right?
I'm thinking no.
I pull out a wheat cookie and I flick it like a coin.
Up there?
Up there, up towards like, where I can like, catch it in its mouth if it wants.
All right, so you flick it up in its general direction. While you do so, it allows me the chance to note that we have had another 1452 donated. Thank you so much, Effect Life, the maker of Arvblot Plus. That's what apparently it's Arvblot Plus, not Arvbot Plus. Thank you, Effect Life, very much for that. So awesome, that is good stuff, folks. We are now up to, let's see, that is. And remember, also, folks, make sure that you're donating to the Speculate Patreon, not the other Patreon. But you donated, I know, through PayPal, so that's fine. But it just reminded me. All of a sudden, I'm like, oh wow, don't go to my Patreon. Go to their Patreon for this one. All right, so that's 144.52 out of 500. There we go. Awesome. Thank you very much, Effect Life. I really appreciate that. Okay, so okay, there's that. So, where was I? I'm sorry. What did you just ask? I apologize. I was trying to do that.
Cookie
We're
flip.
taking the kid back.
Okay, taking the kid back. That's right. So, as you head back in the direction, basically of the town, you are heading down towards back towards the town, and there is a roll of thunder in the distance. There's no storm coming right now that you can tell, but there's one maybe that's off, far off. But the flash of lightning, which follows, actually it goes the other way, flash of lightning followed by thunder. But there's a roll of thunder, and when you look over in the direction of it, there is then a flash of lightning followed by more thunder. And the flash of lightning, just for a moment, highlights an old windmill that is on the top of a nearby hill. And you can see the windmill is just there. The tines of the windmill are not turning. It's just sitting there. But it strikes you as somewhat odd in that no one ever told you that there was this odd windmill nearby. And you don't really know what to make of it, except that there are very clearly next to the path that's heading down towards the town, there are a couple of side paths that go off, and one side path that seems to be going in this direction has a signpost which seems to have been torn off or run into in some way. So it's like half leaning over. You did not notice this when you came up in another direction. You kind of left the town from another direction and sort of looped around. So you're now looping back the other way into the other side of the town. And so there is this half destroyed signpost that looks, even as you're walking past it without having to look at it closely, recently destroyed for what that's worth.
Storm coming. Excellent.
Stay on target.
Yeah. I think we can avoid the creepy windmill. For now.
Let's get the child back to her mother, and then we'll go find the father.
Does it have a window?
The windmill?
Yeah, like up at the top. Does it have a window up top?
Not. You can't tell from here. Too far away.
I just wanted to make
Too
sure
gothic.
there wasn't like a person that looked like they're made out of old human parts, like sitting up there really terrified.
Like the windmill itself is living or something, maybe.
So I'll ask Francine, have you seen your father? He went out to find you.
And she's like recovered enough to. No, sir. There was a terrible sound, though. There was a sound of screaming and neighing. It sounded like Molly, but Molly never sounds like that, sir. She sounded like she was just, frightened out of her wits, and I couldn't see anything. That thing was holding me, and the pumpkin man, he was holding me, and I couldn't turn around to see what was happening. I heard something, but I didn't see anyone or thing.
Okay.
And what happened to the mule?
I don't know. I didn't even know that it was there. I was heading home from the fields, and then the pumpkin man came, and he picked me up, and he started singing to me, sir, and he just did that for a while, and I just couldn't move, and then something, I heard some awful neighing and screaming, and it sounded like Molly, but not like I've ever heard her before, and then it was over, and I don't know what happened to her, sir. I don't know.
Okay,
where's my father? Is my mother here?
Well, we're bringing you to your mother, and then we're going to get your dad.
Yeah.
That's a promise.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Although it's a little weird to me that you're from a town that welcomes monstrous things in, and you were really scared by a pumpsquatch. That just seems strange to me.
Well,
a little suspicious of you, kid.
So she kind of blinks at you like, what? And then says, I've never seen a creature like that, sir. It was frightening, but he didn't hurt me, though, but he wouldn't let me go either. I tried to ask him to let me go, but I couldn't get any words out. I was so scared. I've never been held up by a huge monster before, and I've never seen anything with a pumpkin for a head. Maybe little wolves or something, but not like that.
And we've learned a very valuable lesson today about prejudice, now haven't we?
And she kind of blinks at you again.
Look. This is where Reginald looks at the TV screen to the viewers.
Right. The more you know. Right.
Right. So, yep. Okay. So we're heading back to the end. Dispatch.
Okay. So when you get back to the tavern, you find that it has mostly cleared out. Either people have gone upstairs to stay, in the rooms that were left over, or they have left apparently completely. The only one who's left now, besides the innkeeper who's sweeping up, is Old Grit, who continues to just sort of sit by the fire and occasionally and then the man is still sitting at the table with the ratty black hair, kind of occasionally making sobbing noises. And of course the mother. And when you come into the room, she goes, oh, my love. And she goes over, and Francine, Mommy. And they come over and they hug each other. And she says, I was so worried. Oh, where did you go, child? Where were you? And she says, it wasn't my fault, Mommy. It was a pumpkin man, a big, big pumpkin man. And he was right there, and he was holding me, and he wouldn't let me go. And then there was a sound, the mule, Molly, I heard her neighing, and then there was a crash, and then he just held me, and he didn't. And she says, runs through everything exactly like that. And so there's this long pause, and then the mother kind of looks up and says, a pumpkin man? And from the fire you hear, you're talking about the gourd lord. And, the innkeeper kind of stops his sweeping and looks up. And Old Grit spits in the fire, sizzles as it hits the stones of the fire, of the hearth. And he says, there's stories of the gourd lord. They wander around the woods of Gristwood, looking for anything they can find. But they have a particular interest in little children, it's said. No one knows if they're good or evil. But they seem to have a fascination with humans, and they have creatures that eat from their head, he said, ravens and crows.
Yep, that matches what we met, and it also spoke in music.
Aye, 'tis the song of the Gourd Lord. One says you can never be bored when you listen to the song of the Gourd Lord. No bored, Gourd Lord.
Yeah. Although I had this sneaking suspicion that everything he's saying was not an original production. Just saying.
Doesn't matter, Reginald.
I mean, as a musician, I'm okay.
And he says, you too, looking at you, you too, despite your musical talent, might find yourself being in the end not able to be bored by the chord of the Gourd Lord.
Well, we need to know more about that creature that's beyond the bridge, because I think we're going to have to go past that bridge. So tell us more about the creature that you were telling the children about.
Aye, you mean the Headless Horseman.
The Headless Horseman, indeed. Please tell us more. I think we're going to have to go up against it.
You have no chance against a creature like that. It can't be harmed by normal means, and it is cruel and evil. Not even the Gourd Lord would be able to defeat something that came toward you over the board of the bridges. That would be a board toward Gourd Lord, and then you'd be floored. And he kind of pauses. That's something they can't afford. Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, oh, Lord. But otherwise, you'd have to go down the river and find the ford. No, he doesn't say that. So instead, he says, no, he doesn't say all that, but he does say, it is a dangerous creature beyond the ability of anyone to defeat. 'Tis said that he's invulnerable to all weapons. If you face him, you're likely to be destroyed.
Well, that little girl's father might be under threat, so...
Then he's a dead man already. And the mother says, no! And little Francine says, no, not Daddy.
No, I'll look at my two companions. We're going after her father, aren't we?
Yes.
Good. Well, at least we're agreed.
If you go that way, despite my advice, then be aware of one thing.
What's that?
If it fixes its eyes upon you, the eyes from its severed head, you may be captured in its spell. So, if you don't want to be enthralled to that thing, make sure you beware. Of course, there's always the treasure, and perhaps you'd be foolish enough to seek out that treasure. If you had that hoard, you could afford room and board till you could cross at the ford with the Gourd Lord. I didn't steal that at all from anyone in chat.
It was entirely original.
That's
something
really,
Fenord, yeah.
Really interesting. All these rhymes you're doing, old man. Yeah. From whence did this knowledge get stored? Did you perhaps learn how to score it?
There's no need for you to lord it over me. I understand these things. I speak the word.
Is this why you're the least adored?
He stops and he sort of takes a step back.
Yeah.
I'm a good Nord. I understand what my role is. There's no reason to be so toward.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Do you wanna climb aboard with this adventure toward the Gourd Lord?
And he says, not me. I am a storyteller, and if I were killed, then everyone would be bored.
Yeah. Or they'd be deplored.
And he sort of nods and he says, aye. And the innkeeper says, ha! He's gotcha for that one, old Grit. And Grit says, spits. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
So where is this treasure supposed to be? Not that we're overly interested in that. You see, we're more interested in saving the father, but if there's a treasure there, we might really bother.
And he sort of thinks about it. He says, "You can find it in the hollow, and if you don't wish to experience sorrow, you'll know what it takes on the morrow. If you take my advice, don't follow."
There's a father out there who's in trouble. So we're going to go out there, go without a grumble.
Boil and bubble, you mean? Trouble, boil and bubble.
I'm not the one who sings. That would be the tiefling whose harp I lug endlessly sing.
In a ring.
In a ring. Yeah.
One does not simply walk into more.
No, we do not.
So yes, the impression you get is that there's a hollow that is where this creature is near beyond the bridge. But these are all legends. No one has actually found and brought back a treasure. If they've ever found it, they didn't live through it. So goes the legend.
I'll turn to my companions, but our primary objective is to find the father.
Yes.
Yeah.
Confrontation with the creature and finding the treasure is of secondary importance. We find the father. If we can get the father out, that counts as a win in my book.
Yeah, my understanding is that this creature only haunts the area once a year or so. So as long as we can get the father back, we can just ignore it.
Right.
Yeah. So we should definitely go find this creature, which is the feature of our current adventure, from which
we're
this
looking
creature,
for the father.
Teacher, has been teaching us. There aren't that many words I can work that rhyme with that. So I'm
you think
a bit
you're
of a
some kind of Jack Reacher. Well,
I'm the preacher. I'm the clerk.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get going on this procedure.
Yes.
So we're
nice.
it seems like a reasonable spot to reset for a moment and welcome everybody to the incredible rhyming experience brought to you by these incredible players. I am joined in our opening section of the Speculate Fundraiser Marathon, our D&D one-shot of the Folktales of Gristwood, which is provided to us by Critical Crafting. And I am joined, as always, for these adventures, so it seems, at least the Critical Crafting so far, by Trish Matson, otherwise known as Trish, by Prince Justin, otherwise known as Paul, and by Alphabet Streams, otherwise known as Shaun. All three in the Skiffy and Fanty podcast universe, let us say, with multiple awesome things on their own, and you should definitely check out all the work that they do. I'm very grateful to them for joining us, and we are doing this for fundraising. We have already raised $144.52 out of our $500 goal. Once we reach 200, we're going to be giving away a copy of Brandon O'Brien's Can You Sign My Tentacle, his award-winning poetry collection, and it is signed by Brandon. And then at the next $200, we'll be giving away another set, and I believe this is coming from Mike next, which is the Geekomancy series at 400. So if you can jump on board and do that, you will get a raffle that will then go out to, again, raffling away one of these copies of these things. And you'll be supporting Speculate and producing more shows. If you like this sort of thing and you're like, wow, where can I find more amazing role-playing like this? You can simply support us at Speculate by either supporting the Patreon. If you type in !Speculate, you'll see the link there. Or you can donate directly to us today at mrucontest@gmail.com. Please let us know here in chat or let us know directly to me via DM. And if you want to keep it anonymous, and then I will take that under advisement and into account. Okay. With all of that said, so players, you are setting back out then for this having dropped the child off safely. You're heading back out, yes, to find this other creature and the father and the mule and all that? Okay.
Yep.
Well, we're not so much looking for the creature as for the father.
Yeah. If the creature happens to be around, that'll be another thing. Okay.
Right.
So
but mostly for the mule, just to be clear. I care very much about this mule.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So it is now probably closing in about 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And as you are making your way out of the tavern and you leave the lit and warm place behind, the cold that I mentioned seems to increase. It's gotten even colder. And now it is joined by an equally cold and full moon as the moon rises gradually in the sky. It lights your way, and it also, of course, lights the path. You see shadows dancing out of the way as you sort of, look in one direction or the other. Several times you think you see eyes kind of staring at you from a bush, but it's probably just, trick of the light. Every time you look in that direction, it seems to be gone. And I guess I do want to know if the players are the characters trying to use their own light sources as they go, use any kind of natural sort of vision that they might have. The moonlight is bright enough that they can sort of light their path, but so I don't know how you want to do it.
I've casted the light cantrip on my armor, so
Okay.
I have light.
Okay, sounds good. Are there exclusion rules to avoid a single person winging the lot? Honestly, no. No, it's not a single person. Remember, all that does is create a raffle. So we may end up doing a top donator prize. We hadn't completely decided on that. Depends on how well we do today. But I mean, listen, if someone is like, here, $500, I'm not going to, I'm not going to be like, no, sorry. I mean, we're doing this to support Speculate. So I would be very grateful. And it just means more raffles for everybody. And that person might end up being our top donator, and there may also be a benefit for that. So that's how I would respond to that, Big Boss. So as you make your way up in the moonlight, but with the light cantrip, you cross in the path, and I'm leaving this map up because basically at the same spot where you encountered this, the Gourd Lord here, the Gourd Lord is now gone. Let me remove him appropriately. So the Gourd Lord is now gone, but something else has been left in its place. And you can just kind of see this Ilorian kind of gleaming, I would say, in the light, in the moonlight here. And let me put it up here. I have a picture of it, but it'll take a second to get the picture loaded. Bear with me. This is what happens, chat, when you have such incredible stuff that it's like 6 million things. Okay. Right, there we go. Yeah, I am a big fan of this picture. Okay, so I'm going to put this up on the stream so folks can see this in just a moment. There we go. Okay, let's see. Okay. All right, so coming up here on chat right now. Whoops, sorry. The sizing on that was completely wrong. Hang on a second. You'll be able to see it though. Okay, let me just alt that so we can see that a little bit more clearly. Okay, there we go. So you can see what looks like. No, actually, it's not. It looks like it is a kind of, if you had to guess, padded armor that sort of is glowing faintly in the moonlight.
Mine.
It's roughly humanoid sized. It could probably fit. I think it might be a bit big for you, Vivian, although you're not sure. But just sort of by the look of it, you might be. But it would fit either Reginald or Ilorian.
All right. I want this so bad.
My
But I will
AC is
split it.
17.
Here's what I will do, because I love you both very much. Vivian, I know it looks a little big for you, but you can probably do the helmet, right? The pumpkin head helmet. Why don't you take that part?
It looks like it's all attached, actually. It looks like it consists of pumpkins and gourds, and it's all held together with this padding. But it looks like the helmet part like folds back like a hoodie, so it's like attached to the padding.
I think, Sir Reginald, you're getting into this thing.
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm basically about to become the new Gourd Lord.
Okay.
I immediately run over and begin putting it on.
Okay, so you
Wait,
pause.
nope, I stop myself. I need to not be stupid because I'm the bard. I would like to cast Detect Magic on it.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, I hope it's magic.
I mean, it probably is magic, but
I think we could get Reginald to wear it even if it wasn't magic, to be honest.
I'm just trying to look. I got to be at least moderately smart.
It is unquestionably magic. And it radiates, because you can detect the schools, both conjuration and alteration schools of magic. And it smells like pumpkin spice. That's actually true. It 100% smells like pumpkin spice and cinnamon.
Oh, but those are really good smells.
Yeah, they are.
Maybe that's what it means by like transfiguring alteration. Like it'll just mean that I'll smell amazing. I'll smell like a fall candle.
I see in the chat pumpkin pie plate armor. I don't like it's plain armor, but it's pumpkin pie armor. Yes.
Okay. I put my hand very delicately inside of it.
Okay.
And see if anything happens.
Oh, okay. I also have just been reminded of something. Yeah, actually, Critical Crafting, can you put that you just put to me? I forgot completely about that. Thank you. I was doing a million things. So, and I heard you, Shaun, I'll get back to that 1 second. Critical Crafting has reminded me that there is a coupon code, and the code is ARVAN, ARVAN. If you go to their website, which is going to be listed by Critical Crafting, I think, in a minute. If not, I can post it. But it is critical-crafting.com, and it will give you $15 off all of your PDFs on the website. And you can get over 800 pages of content, which is kind of outrageous, by signing up for the Patreon. Again, can confirm this is worth it. Like, the material is really, really good, like high-quality material. And I continue to not understand how Dylan does this every month. But so there we go, Critical Crafting. So yes, if you type in, I feel like a sports radio guy. If you use my name, Arvin, you get $15 off the PDF code. So lots of Red Bull. Yeah, I'll bet. But yes, thank you for doing that. That is a really good offer. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Critical Crafting. So yes, this is an adventure from Critical Crafting, and they're helping us out with this. So please definitely do support them as well. Thank you for the reminder. Now, Shaun, you said you were, not Shaun, Reginald, you said you were putting your hand into the armor. Nothing happened so far. You just do. So far,
I'd grab Illyrian and put his hand in there too.
Oh, you try to, but I'm stronger than you.
Yeah, well then make strength checks, please.
Yeah,
go ahead, Illyrian, make strength check. Reginald, make a
watch
strength
me
check,
roll
please.
a nat 20 right now. It probably won't because I think I've got terrible.
19. Oh, that's actually a strength save.
Oh, save. You're right. But it's the same number anyway.
Yeah, so it works out. So that's fine. Just keep it that way for now.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, because it's just the same number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
well,
works out
for
the
me
same.
it is. Yes, I don't have any extra.
It isn't always. Sometimes people have a higher save or a lesser save, but in this case, no big deal.
Should I just use Bardic Inspiration on myself?
You cannot use Bardic Inspiration on yourself.
Can I uninspire him?
You're not. I don't think you're high enough. I don't think you have the right school for that. There is a school where you can do that, but. Yeah. And my bard in my other game, does, but I don't think you have that.
It will not let me roll. Oh, it helps because I keep posting in the wrong place. That would explain it. I'm like in the chat trying to roll in the chat and realize.
Chat's like no.
No, yeah, I didn't get it. It's
yeah,
fine.
so Illyrian, you do not have to allow yourself to have this done if you don't wish to.
No. But once I make it clear that the tiefling can't outrust me, then I will put my hand in just to piss him off, just to make sure.
I get what I want either way. Why would that make me mad?
But I did on my own accord, not because you tried to pull me.
Or you think you did, or secretly I've manipulated you to doing this. After all, I have convinced you to carry my harp around with almost no effort.
That's because my intelligence is 8.
Continues.
That's because my intelligence is 8. All right, so I'll feel around. It's like I'll turn to our bards. Say, put the armor on and let's get going.
Are you doing that?
Yeah, let's do it. I put it on.
Okay. You put it on. It does fit. Smells very nice. You feel a little bit like a pumpkin pie inside it, but it seems to be very nice. And there are a couple of things that you note as part of this. The first is that, like, what do you want to do to sort of, quote, test it out? Like, what sort of things do you want to do? You don't have to go in great detail, but just like, are you jumping around, punching the air, like making pumpkin sounds? I don't know. Like, what things are you doing to try to test out what this thing could or couldn't do?
So you know that thing that you see parkour people do when they like go up against like a wall and they like flip sideways and land on their feet? They just like go up and they like twist themselves.
Okay.
I'd like to do that, but against a Lurian.
So like run up a Lurian is what you're basically saying?
Well, like go up to him, but then like jump up and then like twist myself so I do like a sideways flip and land back on my feet.
Awesome. I would like you please to make a dexterity check at disadvantage. And if you can do this, if you have acrobatics, I'll take that too. Also at disadvantage.
All right, let me see which ones.
Is it cursed to turn him into pumpkin pie filling? I don't know.
So you said either acrobatics or
just a straight dexterity check.
We'll take the dexterity. So I gotta reroll. I gotta roll it twice, right?
Yep. This time we're going for the lower result.
Oh, I got a 10.
Yeah. So you're like hoot and just like sort of fall on your side. This thing clearly does not make you more agile. There is some padding though, so it doesn't really hurt you when you land.
I'm not as enthused about this pumpkin armor as I was a second ago.
While you're there though, as you're sort of lying on your side, there is a moment where you kind of like, pull your legs in, like, ow, type of thing. And Lorian and Vivian, as you're looking at him on the ground, for a moment, you think you're staring at a large gourd. And then all of a sudden, Reginald shows up again.
Nice.
Okay, so you can disguise yourself as a pumpkin.
We like it.
Reginald.
Thanks for letting me know that, because I'm going to abuse this so much.
minor illusions and bards go well together, like say chocolate and peanut butter. Like the Speculate Fundraiser Marathon. Please donate via the PayPal link now.
Indeed.
Nice.
I get up and let's get this going, because this is going to be awesome. Now that I am a pumpkin enchanter person, let's do this. Let's get this dude back, and preferably get the mule. But I know we're not all as enthused by mules as I am.
Exactly, Brunel. Super effective till he's killed by a pack of small children who saw his head open, scoop his brains out, and stick a candle in his face.
But I bite.
Oh, man. Okay. So you travel up through thickets and brush, and the full moon, now it's about 11 o'clock or so, shining down upon you, casting eerie shadows through the foliage. There is a cold fog filling the air, limiting your sight. But in the moonlight, you can see something gleaming in the shadows. It appears to be a skull set with blood-red gemstones for eyes.
I immediately lie down and pretend to be a pumpkin.
It works. You are instantaneously look like a gourd.
Did you say that is off the path?
No, it is ahead of you in a hollow. In fact, I think I do have a map for this. So bear with me just one moment. Make sure that I do. Yes, I do. Okay. So let me zoom. Oops, sorry. It'd be helpful if the players got to go there too. Oh, no, you are there. Okay, good. So yes. So this is where you folks are. Right here. These are 5-foot squares, by the way.
Okay.
And over up in this direction, basically right around there, there is what appears to be this skull. And beyond it, of course, you can see over here the fabled bridge.
So we're on the safe side of the bridge for the moment. Supposedly safe.
Maybe. Well, it's unclear. You don't know which side is the safe side technically, but that does seem to be the bridge they were referring to. The other thing I should mention is if everybody could make a perception check for me, please, now that you're looking in that direction. I'm going to reduce the size of this awesome pumpkin armor. It's a little much.
I am not doing well in perception tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're just too you're like, what happened to the gourd? Okay.
I have
And-
17.
All right, so you're too busy, Reginald, being a pumpkin, to perceive anything, I would say. But Ilurian, you very faintly in the distance hear a neighing sound, but it's an awful, almost a screech, and it's over the bridge.
I hear the mule. It's on the other side of the bridge.
And it's
Right.
you'd have to go over the skull, because the skull's in the middle of that, crossroads there to get to the bridge. Unless you go around and through the thickets, I guess.
I don't like the idea of actually crossing that skull. I think we should push our way through the thickets into the bridge and go forward. And our big burly clerk is going to start doing just that.
I'll follow.
I'm gonna pull out my maul and start just bushwhacking my way through the thickets.
Okay. This allows me to mention my favorite line from the video game Shadow Tactics, where whenever you hide in a bush and someone thinks they see you, they say, crawling through the thicket. So this is you crawling through the thicket. Now, Reginald, you are currently a pumpkin, or at least look like one. What do you want to do? What you actually are is curled up in a ball, in the fetal position, just lying on the ground. So what do you want to do?
I stand up.
Immediately
and
becoming yourself.
Yeah, immediately becoming myself. Beautiful, tall,
pumpkin
very,
covered.
very in decent shape. My harp nearby.
Okay.
And I shoot the pumpkin with a bow and
What?
arrow.
What?
The what?
What?
Shoot what?
The head thing. The head.
Oh,
thing.
the
No,
skull.
do not shoot the skull.
The skull.
Leave the
Okay.
skull alone.
I thought you meant
Pumpkin
shoot the
head.
pumpkin. I was thinking.
I'm
Okay.
sorry, to me, all of it's pumpkins at this point. My character's stuck in the.
I would like you to make a ranged attack for me, please.
Got it.
So.
We can't bring my harp through the thickets, so this is pointless.
We can get the harp back later. This is what happened the last time I asked you to sleep the harp behind.
The harp always turns out to be fine.
The harp always survives.
Yes, thank you, Vivian.
The harp is like the bartender, right? It always survives. Okay. So we've got a 16. Yes. In the darkness, your arrow flies unerringly, and it strikes the skull. And you hear... coming from somewhere over the bridge, and then the sound of... And looking in the direction of the noise, you can see charging over the bridge towards you the following thing. I'm going to show you what this looks like. I'm going to get rid of your pumpkin armor for the moment. Okay.
I do love that drawing of the pumpkin armor.
Yeah, it is pretty great. There we go. Charging towards you, you see a steed with flaming head, and on its back, you see bearing an axe, this creature with a purple cloak and flame in its neck, and you can see the neck because there is no head. And suddenly, evilly on the ground, you see the arrow sticking out of this thing, suddenly lit in an orange light as the skull flows and shifts into what is now obviously an evil-looking jack-o'-lantern. And it is at this moment that I would like all of us, please, to roll initiative. I'm going to fire up some combat music for us. And let's go with that. And I'm going to have to get some tokens up here, too, I know.
Right. 21 initiative.
Okay, sounds good. Hang on a second. Why are we not showing me? Oh, there we go. Right. Okay, so move that over to there, and that. There we go. That's what I was looking for. It's actually a little bit bigger. Okay. Now, let's get all of you lovely folks out there. So, Common Lord has the best horseman sculpt you've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, I was fairly impressed with this too. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, wait. I think I have a good... I don't know whether you'll like this or not, Paul, but see what you think about if you're on board with that.
That for me? Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay.
I should actually thought to make a token before the adventure, but I didn't think of it.
Yeah, I should have reminded, but, you know, we're all busy people. Okay, so let me just make sure I give you control of that. That is Ilorian, and there's the nameplate, and it is controlled by Paul. Okay, you should now have control over it.
I do.
Awesome. Okay, and then we need a Tiefling Bard.
So
Ari Welly
Valerian
was
should
new.
be in the thickets somewhere.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, yeah? All right, well, let's see what we've got for this. No, not that.
It's good music, isn't it, Shaun?
Yeah, Sean's enjoying it.
This is good stuff. Probably a little loud. I will fix that momentarily.
Oh, I never rolled initiative. I should roll initiative.
Yes, please do. Okay. This is going to be you here.
Once again, Ilorian has no dexterity worth the name.
Okay. All right. There's Reginald, and it is controlled by Shaun. All right, Shaun, you should now have control over that one that I just put up on the map. Reginald there, if you can. There you go. All right. And last but certainly not least, we have the Halfling Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
Not half-ing. Halfling warrior. It's a halfing. Okay. And we're going to go with... Not that. Human, half-orc, tiefling. All right, fine. So I will just do... this. We'll do just halfling. That should be good enough to find me somebody. Oh, actually, I actually think you will like this one.
Oh, yeah. Cool.
From
like
Rising from the Last War, actually. Eberron. So...
yeah.
All right. Nameplate and controlled by Trish. Great. Okay. Now let me reduce that to a somewhat more recognizable size. Okay. Now you should be able to move that around as you like.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah. So you folks start out here. You're two in the thicket, and Reginald has just fired this off. It's a little bit larger. I'm going to reduce everybody a bit because we're not actually 15 feet, all of us, except for the headless horseman guy. Okay. And
how tall did you say the headless horseman is?
So, on the back of the horse itself is probably about 6 feet, I would say, right? 6 feet or so. And so the horseman on top of it is probably a good 8 or 9 feet. Oops. I just dropped everything. Most unfortunate. All right, so my turn order is not popping up here the way I want it to, so I will just keep turn order for now. Now that you've all seen what the picture of this looks like, I will reduce it in size. I'm going to move this up over here. And, all right, and let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, and I think that shows just about everybody that we need. Okay, so what do we get? We had... if I look back down here, we had Ilorian with a 7, which is exactly what you had the last time, Ilorian. It was a 7. It was the same one that I had for you in the last fight.
Oh God,
Vivian,
I'm slow.
You had a 21, right, Vivian? Is that right, Vivian? You had a 21.
Yes.
Okay. And is that a 16? Or no, 18 for Reginald, right? Okay. Too loud. Sorry, everybody. Hey, what's up, Polar? Thank you for the resub. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you, thank you. I hope all is well. Good to see you. 26 months of support. Thank you, thank you. All right, that's too quiet. All right, there we go. Lovely. All right, let me pop that up there. Okay, great. So that means that last thing is, it'd be nice if I actually rolled for the Headless Horseman guy. Right, there we go.
I'm not sorry for anything I've done. I just want you all to know this.
You never are sorry for what you've done.
That's not
Ever.
true. That one time when I accidentally stepped on your foot, I was pretty sorry about that. Yeah.
I need water.
You need water? What is water? Are we all like taking like a? Can I use a? Can I?
Nope. I mean, well, we can't. You can certainly take a quick break if you like.
Can I run to the restroom like an adult?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
I should have offered that before. I was trying to zip through because we're going to be closing up at around 6:10 or so about an hour from now. But yes, if you want to take a quick break, we could certainly do that if people want to. 5-minute break, okay, for everybody.
I mean, I don't need quite that much, but like, yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna pop downstairs, hobble.
Okay, well, I mean, like, yeah. So we won't be a formal break then. I guess just a quick one. And I guess Trish, if you can take just a couple of minutes, and then whenever we come back, we'll restart. Okay.
Perfect.
So
okay.
I guess you could play the video again if you wanted to.
I could do that. I may do
for
that.
For people who came in late.
And I may speak a little bit about the thing. I was going to play that at the end regardless. So. All right. So give me 1 second, chat. I dropped.
All right.
Difficult. So. Okay. There we are. Alrighty, because I dropped absolutely everything. Okay, so while we are waiting for the other two folks to arrive back, I will mention, I forgot to ask everyone to leave their windows up, so it means that Paul has temporarily become Trish. But that will not last for long.
I can't rock being Trish because I can't sing for one thing.
Okay.
I don't have video skills. I may have minor photography skills, but I don't have video skills.
Okay. And let's get the... There we go. That goes up there. And that may or may not get messed up again when everybody arrives back, but hopefully not. We shall see. Okay. Right. Lovely. Okay, while we are waiting, this is a good opportunity to mention to everybody that we are playing the amazing Folktales of Gristwood. I am joined by Trish Matson, also known as Trish, by Prince Justin, also known as Paul, and by Alphabet Streams, also known as Shaun Duke, all connected to the Skiffy and Fanty podcast in some way, and also reprising their roles of these characters of Reginald, DeLorean, and Vivian from Midwinter's Morning, which we did last year. This is from Critical Crafting, and you should support Critical Crafting and their Patreon. If you go over there and type in the code ARVAN, A-R-V-A-N, you'll get 15% off now until the end of the month on any of their PDFs on their website. You can also join their Patreon as well. And while we're on the subject of Patreon, we're all here, hopefully, to support the Speculate Fundraising Marathon. We're trying to raise $500 and hopefully beyond that, but we're trying to raise $500 to expand the number of shows that we can offer in terms of how frequent we can release those. At the moment, we're limited because we can only pay for editing at a certain clip based on the money that we got. So that means that if you support us today, we can get to that number number and we can increase the amount that we do this for. So there are two ways to contribute. One is to donate via PayPal at mrucontest@gmail.com. That's one way to do it. And then let us know that you did this in the Twitch chat. Or you can, if you wish to donate anonymously, you can private message me on Twitch. You can whisper me, or if you happen to be friends of mine on Discord, you can do that as well. And let me know that you would like to make a donation anonymously, and I will then thank you anonymously, and I will add that to the total. Or you can support us on the Patreon. If you type in !speculate, !speculate like that, then you can go over to the Patreon you see there, www.patreon.com/speculate, and you can support us. Arudinel has already done that. We would love that number. Any of that kind of support that helps us really does make a difference if we're able to get that on a monthly basis. Once we get up to $200, only a little over $50 left, right? $56 or so, $55.48, I think. And that'll get us to 200, and we will be giving away a copy of Brandon O'Brien's Can You Sign My Tentacle? It is an award-winning poetry collection, and it will be signed by the author themselves. So you can do that. And then that'll be a raffle that'll be given away to everyone in chat when we reach 200. And then at 400, we will be giving away, I believe it's Michael Underwood's work next, Geekomancy. And then after that, once we reach past the $500 level, I will be giving away signed copies of the award-winning Icarus and Jelinek graphic novels. I also have a set of 3 of my band's albums, one of which was nominated for a Prague Award, and those are all available to you as well once we reach that next milestone, which would be 600 past there. So any of that support can help. And as Rudinel said, yes, if you pledge just a little bit every month, then it means you can support the podcast. It also means that by supporting the Patreon on Speculate, you'll also get some behind-the-scenes stuff that we do. Mike, for example, has been doing some GM prep streams for Valorword, our Court of Blades campaign that we did yesterday on Friday night, and you get a chance to see a little bit about Mike's process of thinking through things and world building and all that stuff. So very cool stuff that's available. So I'm going to do the video, I think, at the end when we're switching over to the break is what I figured. So that's why. Yes, if you were not here for the opening, you missed an amazing video from Trish Matson. You will see it and hear it again as we come forward. All right, so now that everybody is back, I will then ask the players. Oh, I did all that, and I needed to make sure that I got my information. Okay, now I have that. So, right. Okay, so the first one here to go is going to be Vivian, I believe, is up first. As you can see, this creature charging over the bridge. And actually, as the fight starts, it's basically just gotten to the side of the bridge. So let me move him over there. Yeah, you can see him right now. He's just gotten to that side of the bridge as he charges down the path. And I'll zoom out so chat can see it as well. So, Vivian, what would you like to do?
Since he's so far away, there is no sense trying to fight him with weapons. And anyway, that guy said, the old grit said weapons were no use against him. So I'm not going to wait for him to get here, and I'm not going to aim at him. What I'm going to do is aim my light crossbow at his head, his jack-o'-lantern pumpkin head that he is swinging.
Okay, so actually right now he does not have the head with him. Right now, if you're guessing correctly, the head is here.
Oh.
That's the skull that Reginald shot that turned into a pumpkin head.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, Vivian, I should point out you'd need to move out into the path because there is no clear shot at all. You were in a thicket as we speak.
What kind of weapons does he have?
He seems to have, from what you can tell looking at him, he seems to have what looks like an axe that he is wielding, and it maybe is glowing, although that also could just be that it's in the moonlight, and maybe that's the only reason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. My move is 25, so I could dash up to the head, but not get anything done. But instead, what I'm going to do is move 25 feet, 1, 2, 3, 4, like about here. So still in some brush, but closer and ahead of our little pumpkin board. And now I'm going to shoot the crossbow at the skull head.
Okay, I figured I would give us an actual thing to look at. So there's your skull.
Right. Right.
Although it looks more like a pumpkin, but still.
Right. So how many shots can I get off with a crossbow?
Well, should be.
Well.
I mean, I think you're just going to be firing the. Well, that is going to be a miss, I'm afraid. Even although it is on a stationary target, but that's on the ground. It'd be a hard shot anyway.
Yeah.
So it does miss. And again, the sort of skull pumpkin thing continues to glow. And you hear from the horseman.
All right,
away.
if you'll allow me a bonus action, I'll put away my crossbow and get out my sword and my scimitar.
Okay, sure. I think you can do that. Okay, that's going to bring us down to... And actually, Vivian, why don't you move up to... Oh, you were shooting from there? So you had to be, like, here-ish, right? Like moved over... Just move over one spot. So you... Yeah, because you're, like, right at the edge of the path. Awesome, thank you. Reginald, you are up next. What would you like to do?
Well, I've started all of this, and so I must continue by immediately viciously mocking this skull.
Okay.
Good opening.
All right.
Yep. And so I raise my hands in my best impressive pose, even though I'm actually very weak and don't have a lot of strength, and so I'm not actually that muscular, but I make myself look as big as I can. And I say, "Hey bro, what'd you do with your body? Huh? Did you lose it? It's kind of sad, isn't it? Just being a little lonely head that can all you can do is just sit. Maybe if there's a little wind, you can roll around. But mostly you just sit there. You're just a sad flaming pumpkin head thing. And it's really, your mom is disappointed in you, right? You could have been anything. You could have been a teacher. You could have opened like a tavern. Like you literally could have spent 6 months building eye patches for other people. You could have like served a needy community. You decided to be an evil flaming pumpkin turd head on the ground.
Okay. Now I believe this head would need to make is it wisdom saving throw?
Yeah, wisdom save negates.
Okay. I don't always do this, but I will say that it critically succeeded on this wisdom saving throw. The head is apparently utterly unimpressed by your mockery. Instead, you hear... It critically saved.
I got nothing, guys. Sorry.
And I'm spent. Are you going to move anywhere, Reginald?
No, but technically I get 2 attacks, so I'm going to shoot it again.
Vicious Mockery. Did we talk about this last time, that Vicious Mockery counted as an attack? Because here's why.
Oh.
The attack action means that you attack twice as part of that action, but the attack action, if it is Vicious Mockery that is the attack, that uses up that action. So, yeah. So that's the deal.
Oh,
with that.
that's true. Yeah.
Unless Vicious Mockery is a bonus action, but I don't think so. I think
it's a main action.
Yeah.
It's just a main action. Oh,
Hey, Dragon.
Well, I guess I'll give bardic inspiration to somebody.
He's so sad. Just like it doesn't work. You're like, you know what? I'm sorry that I was so insulting. Here, have some inspiration.
I give Vivian bardic. You get a bardic inspiration. So go get him, friend. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Thanks. You can move too if you want.
I'm
Reginald.
pretty safe back here. I'll just stay back here and think about my life choices.
Think about what you've done.
Yeah. Only for a little bit, though.
Okay. It is now the horseman's turn, and he's going to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and he leaps over the log. Excuse me. Comes here, comes to a stop, looks at you. Well, I mean, at least his torso turns in your direction, and and reaches down, and the skull flies up to his body, and now he is wielding a jack-o'-lantern in his other arm. So he's got an axe in one hand, jack-o'-lantern in the other hand.
I'm not liking this one bit. Not one bit.
Well, that's too bad, Alarian, because you're up next.
Of course I am. Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right. You're too far away for me to do much of what I want out of life, I think. Let's say 5, 10, 15, 80. What is the range on that? Hold on. I think I might actually have a shot at this. Range is 120 feet. Perfect. Okay, so
nice.
Perfect. So I look at the creature, and I will cast a guiding bolt at it.
Cool.
40, 45, 50, 50, 60. Oh, yeah, you got it's like 75 feet.
Yep.
Okay, guiding bolt. All right.
Guiding bolt.
I believe ranged attack.
It's a ranged attack, and I get a whopping 7, so I missed.
Sadly, that is a miss. It sort of, misses over its shoulder, and again, you hear the... Are you moving anywhere, Lorraine? I should have asked.
I did move to here. That's as far as.
That's as far as you're going to go?
As far as I can go.
Sounds
good.
I
can go, yeah.
All right, hold on. Checking a message. 1 second.
I wonder if this can turn this thing. That might also be a plan.
Okay, I have gotten word that there is an updated total.
Goody.
So I'm just confirming what that total might be. So let me update quickly. See what we got.
How close? What's that distance for them to
turn here?
Let's try that next when we get close enough.
See, we've gone up by the number of. Okay, so there's that. Okay, let me look. Okay, it looks like we have an amount that has been updated. I'm going to confirm. I've gotten the number. I'm just confirming the direction that it came from, where it came from. I think. Oh, okay. So we have a donation that came in via the MRU contest in the amount of $50. So that means we are up to $194.52. Thank you very much to that person. I'm assuming that person is staying anonymous. If not, they can reveal themselves. But otherwise, I will thank the anonymous donator. And I will update that now. That is wonderful. Seriously, I thank you so much. Speculate has been important for me and for the folks around who have been involved in one way or another for a long time. So I'm really grateful that people are able to help out. So thank you. So we're up to $194.52, which means, chat, $5.48 away from the first raffle that we would get of Brandon O'Brien's Can You Sign My Tentacle? Thank you to the generous donator. Thank you so much. In fact, I'm going to tell them that. Okay, good. Great. And let me go back there. And now I will put this back on. And great. So they did that. We went up to Vivian. Okay. Vivian, you were up. What would you like to do?
Well, he doesn't seem to be attacking us from a distance. And I am much better with hand weapons than with my crossbow. So I think this time I will hold my attack until he gets within range of me. And
Okay.
I'm not leaving everyone else. I'm just waiting here for him.
Got you. Specifically within range of a melee attack, you mean?
Of a melee attack.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Now, question, does the horse look like a normal horse?
No.
Or some kind of demon horse?
It looks like some kind of demon horse. It is
Great.
kind of a full flame. In fact, I didn't even realize that there was a full there's a full out picture of this, like a full frame image. So hold on a second. I will show you exactly what he looks like.
And we're certain it's a horse and not a mule, correct?
Yeah, this does not look like a mule.
It is not a demon mule.
It is definitely not a demon mule from what you can tell.
Got it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure
it moved too
our
fast
mule
for
is
one
okay.
thing.
Got it.
Okay, there we go. Yes, let me capture that actually, and I will show you all exactly what it looks like. Okay, so it is coming up here on the stream for everybody to look at. Right here.
Oh, bloody heck.
Yeah. So it's...
I'm not liking the fire on those hooves. Or the fire on its back. Or the fire on its tail.
All right. Well, horse looks like a legit target to me, along with the horseman. And since Old Grit said you can't harm the horseman, I might go for the horse. But if the angle is right, what I'm actually going to do with my attack when he gets to me is try to cut the cord or whatever that he's holding the swinging jack-o'-lantern head with.
Okay.
That's going to be my primary. If I can't get it that easily, if it would be a disadvantage or whatever, I will go for the horse.
Gotcha.
Attack the horse.
All right. So, okay. Because I know. Oh, I'm sorry. You said that's right. You said you had said you were going to hold your action, but
That's
as you're thinking about it, this is what you're going to do. Okay. So if it gets close enough, you're going to attempt to do what you've just described.
Yes.
Remind me if your weapon has what kind of weapon do you have, and is it magical in nature or not?
I have a scimitar +8. It doesn't say it's magical, and a short sword +8, which also does not specifically say.
Okay, +8
magical.
from your
So
skill.
I think those are my fighter attack bonuses.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I was like,
magic.
+8. I'm like, that sounds like a magic sword to me. No, but now I understand.
No, I think I'm just that good.
Just the +8. That's fair enough. Okay. All right. I will keep that in mind. Sounds good. That will lead us to Reginald. Reginald, you are a little farther down the path here. What would you like to do?
We need magic weapons.
Oh. I'll try to viciously mock him again.
Okay. All right. You can certainly do that. So he needs to make a wisdom saving throw, right? Okay. Let's see if he does that. What's the DC that he's trying to get to?
Oh, that is a great question. It just says a save.
Yeah, you should have a spell casting DLC.
Got it.
Not DLC. DC. DLC.
Yeah, the DLC.
You should download your spellcasting. No, DC. 15. Okay. Okay. It does not apparently make it save. So what happens there?
I got you now, you sucker.
You start cackling. He's like, all of a sudden it's that moment at Die Hard where, John McClane and Hans Gruber are both laughing at each other. Okay. All right.
Yeah. You thought you had me, but the joke's on you. I'm better than you.
All right.
That's all I got. Like,
how much damage we
struck.
talking out of this?
Let's figure that out, because I think it's 2d4, so I gotta roll that. Okay. All right, here we go. That's super mega damage. It's so little.
The damage isn't what's the best thing about Vicious Mockery.
It's the disadvantage. I know.
It's the disadvantage on its next attack. That's what counts.
You gotta understand, my confidence is shot at the moment. So anyway.
Keep plinking at it.
Oh, I did okay. He's gonna take 4 psychic and be disadvantaged on his next attack roll.
And he kind of rears back and, but it's sort of a mad cackle this time instead of a, all right, Reginald. He fixes his jack-o'-lantern head swings to face you directly, Reginald. Okay, are you moving anywhere, Reginald, or are you staying where you are?
Oh no, I'll stay where I am. With Bardic Inspiration, does it go away if I give it to someone else? Or can I just keep giving them around? Like, can I give one to Illyrian too?
Yeah, because you should have like 3 or 4 of them per.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have 4.
Yes.
I have 4. I just wanted to make sure
Right.
it's not a thing where it takes it away from Vivian.
No. You can
Okay.
you can
No.
use it. Although it doesn't. It only lasts until they use that first. They use Bardic
Right.
Inspiration, and then that's used up. But
Right, they
you
don't
can't
stack.
you can't stack it on one person. But yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
that's perfect. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to inadvertently.
Yeah, inspire me.
Okay. Oh, I don't know. Now that you're asking for it. Illyrian,
Yes.
dear sweetness, I have inspired you from the greatness of my body. I just send it your way. Bardic Inspiration to Illyrian Blue Water.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome. You feel warmth inside now, so you know.
Like pumpkin spice.
Yeah. You even I think it'd be fair to say, and Greg, you can correct me, but when he gets inspiration, he smells pumpkin spice.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I think that's
With you in that
that's
outfit,
reasonable.
I
mean,
think
absolutely.
I like pumpkin spice. Otherwise, this could be bad.
I also have further good news, which is that there was a miscommunication, and actually, anonymous donator person donated an additional 6. They had made a mistake before, so we are at $200.52.
First goal!
So we've arrived at the first raffle. So what we're going to do is we are going to run a raffle in just a moment, but bear with me while I do that. Thank you so much to this anonymous donator. That means we're closing in on halfway to our goal of $500 for today, and then we have an additional goal past that, but $500 is the goal that we were like, we definitely want to do that if we can. So that's awesome. And I am going to run a giveaway. Although Dragon, if Dragon Spear's still in, I don't know if you are, because Dragon Spear may not be available at the moment. Because I want to make sure I keep moving this forward, and obviously Triffid is busy playing, so I don't want Triffid to do it. But it looks like raffles are back on the menu. So we're going to do a raffle. Is someone able to set up a giveaway for me who is not either Triffid or myself? I might be able to do it. Let me see. Admin. Let's see. And it would be -S-A. Did that work? No. Giveaway -admin. Nope. Giveaway admin -A-S pumpkin. Thank you to my players for being patient. I'm sorry that I have to keep switching over to do these things. Damn it. All right. Well, I don't remember how it works. So at some point we're going to do a raffle as soon as I can, remember how we actually do the raffle giveaways. But we will do that. We will do that shortly. So hang in there. We will do that in a moment. Okay. Actually, one more option. -A. No. -A-S. No, I don't remember what it is. All right. We will go back and we will take care of it shortly. So hang in there. We will do the raffle shortly. Thank you so much for the support. Okay. Moving right along then. Reginald has done his thing. So the horseman continues to gallop along towards you. And what it is going to do here is he points at you, Reginald, and with his axe, his glowing axe. And he points at you, and then he goes, nah. And you feel a coldness seeping over you. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Oh, he did not just do that to me.
Yes, he did.
Oh, I am so wearing his skull later. Wow.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Effect Life. There it is. So yes, type in pumpkin, everybody, if you would like to enter this raffle for a signed copy.
Lord.
A signed copy of will you sign my tentacle? Can you sign my tentacle? From the amazing Brandon O'Brien. Also, while we're doing this, I note that we have received is that a 4 and a 1?
No, the 4 was from the last one.
This is just a 1.
The 1.
Okay. Well, so what happens is you were doing the Haha! Now you will face the... And you are completely paralyzed, Reginald.
How do I have a minus? Oh, wow, I really am.
Yeah,
I don't
because
have
your
any
wisdom isn't high.
Yeah.
Kind of like,
You
my,
are-
like my intelligence.
You are paralyzed. You can take no actions, although you can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns. Having done that, he then lifts his jack-o'-lantern and chucks it at the nearest person, which I think is Vivian. So
That's
he
right.
throws the jack-o'-lantern in your direction, Vivian.
Mhm.
And let's see. This is going to be a ranged spell attack. Hey, what's up, Rising Tides? Yeah, and it's going to be your book that we're giving away. That is a horrific roll. That is a 9, which I'm
Yeah.
assuming is going to be a miss.
It is.
Okay. So he gets 2 of those. As you're sort of horrified to see that as the jack-o'-lantern flies towards you and misses, emerging in his appearing, hanging from his arm, from his hand, is another jack-o'-lantern,
Oh,
which he
it's
then
like
chucks at you
Mjolnir.
again. Exactly,
Wait,
basically.
so the one he threw at me disappeared.
Correct.
And a new head.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Exactly right. And this one also horrifically misses, so does not do so well on the attacks. However, he did paralyze the bard, so there is that. Speaking of the bard, Alorian, you can see that the bard is frozen in place, basically, and
Yeah.
Alorian is up next.
All right, well, let's go solve this problem first. So 5, 10, 15, 20, move to here. I will cast
would've moved
Luster Restoration on the bard.
We moved up there too. Okay. Lesser Restoration. Let's
Lesser
go to-
Restoration. Can end one disease or condition afflicting it. The condition can be blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned.
There you go.
So I will end his paralysis.
Yep, there you go. You are immediately unparalyzed, Reginald.
Nice.
Well done.
And okay, I'll take 10 more feet of movement, so I'll go to here. And that is me for the moment. That's all I can do.
All right. That is still a very good one. Thank you for the follow, Brand Walker, on my channel. Reminder, everybody, we are at our first raffle milestone. We're trying to reach 500 today. We're almost halfway there. Please jump in if you would like to get more shows from Speculate. If you'd like to get special behind the scenes shows from Speculate, and if you'd like to get us to our next raffle goals. And please, whether or not you've been able to donate today, type in pumpkin if you would like to win a copy of Brandon O'Brien's award-winning "Can You Sign My Tentacle?" ironically signed by the very same Brandon O'Brien and shipped to you. So with that said, okay. So there is that. That's going to bring us to the top of the round with Vivian. So Vivian, the horseman did not charge this time. He just came a little bit closer and then did his, pointing paralysis and then chucking jack-o'-lanterns at you thing.
Right. So I was actually robbed of the opportunity to attack him. I don't like that one bit.
Yeah.
So I would have to dash to get to him. And I'm not going to do that. Because then I wouldn't be able to attack anyway. I think I would know Illyrian's move, right? What's her move?
30 feet.
Okay, so I don't want to get farther away than, say, here. Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna get here, kind of in the horseman's way.
Okay.
You're
You're about 30 feet from it now.
Yeah. And what I'm gonna do is be ready if he throws the pumpkin at me to parry, or if he throws at Illyrian to parry.
Okay.
I don't think I can do anything about him just pointing at Sir Reginald again.
Yeah, unless you charged up to engage him directly, which is possible. I mean, you could do that, but that's the only thing I could think of other than...
I couldn't make it far enough to engage him this round,
Right.
unless he comes to me, in
Fair.
which case I may as well not throw away my attack.
Fair.
Right, so I am braced to parry and or attack if he gets close enough. Since he can just conjure new pumpkin head, I will go for the horse.
Okay.
But also be equally ready to parry if he is attacking, if he's making a throwing attack that I can try to intercept.
Okay. Sounds good. That leads us to Reginald, who is not paralyzed. What'd you like to do, Reginald?
I have come for vengeance.
Okay.
How dare you, sir? How dare you? I'm going to shoot him with my longbow.
Okay.
Twice.
Okay.
I get 2 attacks.
Yep.
So I'm going to pierce him
Okay.
in his heart.
All right.
But before I do that, I do point at him. And then I do it.
Okay.
Unless that takes any action away.
No,
and then I
no.
won't
Pointing
point.
is a free action. You can do that
great.
as well.
It's a very vicious mocking point.
Yeah.
I want it to be known. So he should be trembling a little bit. Just saying. Anyway, so let's go for number 1. Okay, that's the first, and that's the second attack.
The first will miss, the second will hit.
Great. Awesome. So then, he takes 7 damage.
Now, important note, the nature of these arrows / bow, are either of these magical?
I don't believe so.
Okay. So,
Should I make them magical?
well,
I can light them on fire.
I could light them
I'm
on
not
fire.
sure that's fire. That's magic.
When it strikes him, so it kind of lands and it's a solid shot, and you're like, ha-ha! And then, and he takes the arrow out of his body and looks at it, and it just bursts into flames and disappears. Seems to have had no effect on him.
That's not fair.
I mean, it hit him, but it didn't damage him.
We had to kill the horse?
It's a
may-
demon horse.
The demon horse.
It'll probably just go back to some plane of hell or something, Shaun. It's fine.
That's not fair.
Life isn't fair, Reginald.
Are you going to move anywhere, Reginald?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna be a pumpkin.
Okay. So you immediately are you going to do your fall to the ground thing?
Yeah, I'm just a pumpkin now.
Okay.
This is the end, guys.
Baloney.
And immediately a gourd appears on the ground where Reginald once stood. Okay.
Can I look like a summer squash? Like one of those like big... Like I want to be a butternut. I want to be a butternut
Sure,
squash.
you could be a butternut squash, sure.
Like a really big one.
Yeah, good sized, butternut
Yeah.
squash. So you become a large butternut squash. Several squirrels come out of the thicket and pull you back into the... No, I'm just kidding. Okay. So you do that, and that leads us to the horseman's turn. So the horseman, having hurled things, is now going to charge you directly, Vivian. 5, 10, 15, 20 is going to get there. Now, I know you said you were waiting to parry, but I'll allow, if you wish, for you to get an attack off on this since it is now within melee range.
I will attack.
Wow. Okay, that
Critical hit.
would be a critical hit. And the second one is a 19. That will also hit.
I get 3 attacks.
And then, so what's that last one then?
Oh, I put the slash in the wrong place.
Battlemaster Bard. Battlemaster Halfling, I mean.
Wow. All right, so
Holy
2
Hannah.
crit hits. So 3 hits, 2 of them critical. All right, now, important. What's the nature of this weapon, Vivian?
These are just weapons.
Right, these are just weapons. Okay, so so that means total damage you would normally do. You'll roll for the second one, but for the other ones you crit on. What is max damage for those ones?
Both of them are 1d6 plus 5.
Okay, so that means 22 points of damage from the 2 critical hits. And then you can roll for that for the other non-critical. Okay. 11. Wow. So okay, so you basically maxed out. So full max damage. So basically 33 points of damage. You just strike it a massive blow. And there's a moment where your scimitar and your short sword hit it, and the horse, the nightmare there, rears back, right? And then comes to the ground, and the creature sort of looks at these 2 massive blades, and then
Wait, no, I was attacking the horse, remember?
Oh, you were attacking the horse. I didn't remember that. Okay, so you're attacking the horse. All right. So let's see what happens with the horse. Okay. So, okay, so what did we say? How much damage?
33.
33 damage. Okay, no, that definitely hits a lot then. And the creature rears back, and is just, at these incredible blows. It is not dead, important to note, and it is not yet close to death, but it has been solidly hit.
Yes.
Very strong hit. Okay, so you definitely hit that. Okay, and are you staying where you are, Vivian, I assume?
That was the reaction.
Oh, that's reaction. That's true. So you have to stay where you are. So then the horseman then is going to act after you have hit its terrible horse. He is going to swing his axe at you twice, Vivian. He's going to do so with an 18.
Yes.
And a 19.
I will parry for both of those blows using my combat superiority.
Okay.
So I will roll a d8 twice and subtract that from whatever total it gets.
Gotcha, in terms of damage.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. So we have got 8. Okay, so there is 16 slashing and 11 necrotic damage from this creature as you feel the blade just sort of cut into your skin. So using the parry will definitely work on that non-necrotic damage part of things. So
just one of the... so I should still roll 2 dice?
Yeah, you're still rolling 2 dice
Okay.
because you're parrying, yeah.
And I was forgetting that I get to add my... what is it? Dexterity? Hang on. Dex. So that's actually 2d8 plus 5 plus 5.
Yeah, Polar, there is a character list. Maybe Arudino remembers what the command is. I don't recall off the top of my head what the command is for the character list from these folks. Also, last call for the giveaway, by the way. Please get your votes in, or please get your words in. Pumpkin. That's what it is. Doodly doodly do. That's right. That is the mini campaign, and those characters are the ones that we have. They are all level 6, by the way. Okay, so 20. Right. So that's
I reduce the damage total by 20, I guess, of the non-necrotic.
Okay. And that parry is 2d8. No, wait, now. Is it you roll 2d8 each parry, or you roll a total of 2d8 for the parry?
1d8 plus 5 and 1d8 plus 5 because I parried each blow.
Okay. So then the total would be... Okay, well then you're able to almost completely parry the damage, that the 16 damage, so you won't take that. You will take the 11 necrotic, though.
All right.
So that is 47, I believe,
yes.
of that. Okay. And that is the end of its turn for that. Okay, and that was the horseman's turn. That brings us up to Illyrian.
Right. I don't like undead creatures that paralyze my friends and try to chop them down and throwing pumpkins. So Lurian's finally pissed off. So he's going to move to here. And GM, you said that the weather was stormy. Would you consider that a fair option?
I think it seems reasonable. It feels like a storm is brewing.
Good. It's time to call lightning. So a storm cloud appears in the shape of a cylinder at a point I can see directly with the range above me. That would be right there. But it says if I'm outdoors in stormy conditions, I just control the existing storm. So they'll do. But basically, the long and the short of it is a lightning bolt zaps down to right here.
Nice.
Actually, it's a 60-foot radius.
Ah.
So it's a, yeah.
So, well, okay, now, to be clear.
No, the lightning damage hits anything within 5 feet of a point I pick.
Okay.
So I can center it there and just pick where though I want to have the point. So
like there? Like type of thing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To avoid Vivian? Is that what I'm assuming?
Oh, like I can have it centered around him, but I can just pick a point within that circle I want to have the lightning hit.
Oh, so Vivian's not going to be affected by that. Okay.
Right.
All right.
And I will hit the dot there, so Vivian will be free. So it's time for him to make a dexterity saving throw.
All righty. And the DC is 15 for you, or?
13, I believe. 13 for me.
He does not make that.
Okay, okay, there's that, plus 1d10 for its a existing storm.
All right,
So it's a total of 14 lightning damage.
14 lightning damage. He takes all of that and does not like it.
No, he should not like it.
Does not like it at all. Okay, good stuff, Ilarian. All right, let's see. And it will continue to do so. Does he have? He takes this at the beginning of his turn?
The next, I mean, when it's my turn, I can call a lightning bolt down anywhere in that circle.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so we'll see what he does there. Okay, that brings us back up to Vivian.
Vivian, it's a concentration check, so he needs. I need to be protected while I zap him.
Okay, so he has. So Vivian, you're up. He has been hurt. And his mount has been hurt as well. Also, quick programming note that we've got about 10 to 15 minutes left overall, which is what I figured is about right. So just as a note to everybody else, I'm going to close down the raffle in just a minute. So chat, last chance to get in Pumpkin. Please type in Pumpkin if you would like to win a signed copy of Can You Sign My Tentacle from Brandon O'Brien. Alrighty, that is definitely a hit, and that is definitely a hit. That is not a hit.
13 misses.
So, but those other two are hits. So you can roll damage. This is still on the nightmare, right? That you're attacking?
Yes,
Okay.
still a nightmare.
All right.
So that's a total of 22 points on the nightmare.
Man, the perception rolls were not there, but geez, just brutal.
She's a combat machine.
My goodness. All right, let's see. So, all right, so 22 points of damage. Creature is looking, pretty messed up. I mean, there are massive slashes in it, and instead of blood, some fire seems to be sort of trickling out of the wounds of this creature. And all right, Vivian, good stuff. That leads us to, I assume you're staying where you are, like
I am.
Brenda. Okay, so that brings us to Reginald. Killer Queen, yes, indeed, CQ. All right, Reginald, what you gonna do?
I'm feeling confidence coming back into me now.
Okay.
As my friends, benefiting from my presence, have begun to do extraordinary harm to this magical beast. This beast who has insulted my brand new, just incredible armor that Gord Lord gave me out of the kindness of his heart. And so, with that renewed confidence, I'm going to viciously mock him again.
One more time.
One more time.
He's not going to make that either. So you can again viciously mock him. Go ahead for the damage, the psychic damage of this.
All right, the psychic damage. Here we go.
Out of the kindness of his seed pulp, yes.
Well, only 2.
2.
That's okay, because he's at disadvantage now.
That's right. That's
Very
what's
true.
important.
That's the thing that matters the most.
And I just want, in part of this effort, I'm just gonna give a general insult. You know, just, you know, you're looking a little ragged. Maybe you should go see a tailor. Like, you know, you don't smell as good as me because I've got the pumpkin spice perfume on, out and out from Chanel. You know,
That's
all
the
that
thing
good
that does
stuff.
the real damage, I think. The knowledge that
Yeah.
he doesn't have the pumpkin scent, really.
And more importantly, at the end of it, I point at him and I say, with real intent, strike me, you coward.
Interesting.
Don't taunt the happy fun undead, Shaun.
Do
Do
it.
Let's see what he's going to do. This could be interesting. All right. That actually, it's his turn. Reginald, you're staying where you are?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So here's what's going to happen. He is going to basically spur his mount directly at Vivian. So there's two things you're going to do here. Vivian, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. If you make it, you will be able to take an attack of opportunity on his horse as he runs past you. But you need to make that dexterity saving throw first to make sure you're not knocked over.
Okay.
Oh my.
25.
What?
How's that do?
I need to look at these dice again. I think I roll 20 every time. Yeah, so you critically succeed. Okay, so that's good. You stay on your feet as he is pounding away, stays out of your reach, Allurian, towards Reginald. So as he leaves, you can definitely get an attack in on his nightmare. Now, I think I'm trying to think about whether we do those 3 attacks. Are the 3 attacks part of a single attack action?
No.
I think
I've
it's
got
3 separate, right?
fighting style 2-weapon fighting, which may or may not count as a single attack. And I have at level 5, I got extra attack. So
Right.
I think
So
the
it's just
extra
that
attack won't count.
Right, exactly. It's just that. Yep, exactly. So there you go. So just the one with the two attacks from the / as it leaves.
All right. So that was the first one. Wait, no. The 25 was my dodge. Okay.
Right. This
so,
is now to actually hit him.
The first blow does
11 will
not
not
hit.
do it. I think you put it in the wrong spot.
Oh, I did.
You could also use that bar to the left. You know that the little dice bar on the roll 20.
I guess, yeah.
That's another option.
Ooh. Well,
Oh wow! Finally, the mighty Vivian does not connect on a turn. The world grinds off its axis.
Did you use your
I have
inspiration?
to admit that dodge was pretty epic, though.
It was pretty epic.
Did you use your inspiration already?
You had a bardic
I gave
inspiration.
my bardic inspiration. That's right. I forgot.
So you can use that on that first one if you want. So if you wish
Do
to
it.
do so.
Okay, here I go again.
Well, wait a minute.
No, it's just adding up.
Just add the D4. As much as I love seeing you crit everything in the
bardic
world.
Inspiration.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
sorry,
not gonna
sorry,
do that.
sorry. I was thinking, no, sorry.
It's not a D4, is it? It's a D.
Or is it a
Is it
D6 for you now?
It's a
Or you're up to
D8.
Oh, you're up to D8.
Oh,
'Cause
okay.
of what level I'm at? It's at D8.
All right,
so you add
D8
a D8
then.
to that.
So add a
Gotta add a
D8.
D8.
Okay,
yeah.
so that was 11 plus 5 is 16.
Yeah, and you're aiming at the horse, right? So that does
At
hit.
the horse.
Yep. So that does hit.
Okay,
So you can do your damage to the horse.
let's see. That is D6 plus 5.
Good call with that bardic inspiration there.
Yes, thanks for the reminder. 6 points more of damage.
All right. The horse stumbles forward, not dead, but looking very, very bad now. But it does get out of range and charges in at you, Reginald. And as it comes to you, it brings its axe sort of glowing in its hand for 2 attacks on you. Now, at the moment, I believe you are standing up and you were like, here, bring it, right? Is that as I recall what you were doing?
That is correct.
All right.
Bring it. Let's go.
It's going to be important in a moment.
I'm taunting him, literally, as he's coming at me. Let's go, bro. Let's do it.
This first one is going to be a 17, and the second one is a critical hit.
Oh.
So let's talk about
bloody.
the 17.
My armor class is 18,
Okay.
Yeah.
so
Well,
you can get that crit,
What's
I
it?
guess.
What is it with pumpkin?
So here's the thing with the critical hit. All of you, as you watch, are horrified as you see the axe swoop down towards Reginald's head. And the axe goes slicing across, and it's at this moment, perhaps, Elorian, that you may remember having heard stories of Vorpal weapons. And it slides towards him. But before it hits, the armor on Reginald glows, and around him, 3 floating jack-o'-lanterns pop up. And it and slices basically into the jack-o'-lanterns. And so it does that, and so strong was the blow that the jack-o'-lantern sort of pulls forward, and he literally is thrown from his horse and kind of lands behind you. Now the jack-o'-lanterns float like this, and then they all sort of disappear. You kind of get the feeling, Reginald, that's maybe you only get that once a day type of thing. But you would have been decapitated almost certainly. But something has protected you from the Gourd Lord's armor that you were wearing. Awesome. All right. So he is now behind you.
No. I'm not done.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Hellish Rebuke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. It didn't damage me.
Didn't hit you.
Wait. Well, but he did. He did.
No,
hit me. He
you
hit my
can't hellishly
pumpkins.
rebuke from a pumpkin. No.
That's not fair.
It's a hellish rebuke. Unless your
you didn't
pumpkins are warlords or warlocks too.
You didn't take the damage. You're fine.
Yeah. Otherwise, I would have allowed that hellish rebuke, but it did not hit you.
I also will just note that he was at disadvantage when he was supposed to hit me.
Oh, it's true.
So I think as a kindness, I should just be able to hellish rebuke him.
I think maybe you didn't expend your armor thing, Shaun.
Well, here's the thing. He would have
the first attack would be at disadvantage.
Right. And the first one is one that he had missed anyway.
So
I think,
so that's where it got used.
Yeah, I think so. Because he rolled, because the first time I rolled twice. He had a 15 and a 10, and I took the 10, and then the second time was not not a disadvantage in the same way. Because would you have been hit by a 15 out of curiosity, Reginald?
No.
Okay, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Well, wah wah. It's all right. You got to have an epic moment with a bunch of squash floating around your head, so there was that. Sorry about the no hellish
more epic
rebuke.
if I could have lit him on fire.
I know. But he's right there now, prone on the ground, with the rearing horse, by the way, next to him as separate. Elorian, that's what you now see. The horse is rearing up, looking very hurt, and the horseman itself is on the ground, having also landed on the ground and, taking a bit of damage from that.
It turns out, OGM, you drew the circle a little small. It's a 60-foot radius, which means he is still within the radius of my storm cloud. Because the storm cloud was there. He is still within 60 feet of where I centered it.
Let me think. I guess that's possible. If you put that there.
I put him at the center. And
let's see. So if that was the center, 5, 10. Well, but okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. I don't know. Isn't that a 60-foot radius that I have there?
20, 25.
I think that's about 60, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a 60-foot diameter, isn't it?
That's a 60-foot diameter.
Oh.
You need to expand that.
Oh, right, because the radius. Yeah.
Radius.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. And you're right.
So,
it is a storm. Yeah. Then zap away.
It is time for him to be zapped again.
Yep. Quite so.
I mean, as he prone, doesn't he get like disadvantage?
Absolutely,
on
he does.
Dexterity?
Oh, absolutely, he does.
Oh,
yeah.
goody.
He rolls. That's a good thing too, because he had a 23, but then he also had a 9.
Yeah.
So that 9 is what we'll take. Okay, zap.
Zap.
How big is that storm cloud? Yes.
20,
boy.
26 plus 2 is 28 lightning damage.
Okay.
Yes.
So the lightning zaps down at him and strikes him, and there's a moment of, you hear this, and there's this, and I'd ask you all to think about the end of Return of the King, where the tower falls when Sauron is defeated, and as the tower falls, there's this sort of silence, and then right where there's this kind of wave, sort of a earthquake almost that comes out of it. His nightmare, literally as this wave hits him, just dissipates into little flaming embers that just sort of fly off in the wind, and he is destroyed. There is nothing you can see left except what might be perhaps just a jewel-eyed skull, perhaps that is lying on the ground, and sitting there with those gems glittering. But otherwise, he is destroyed. And in the distance, you can hear, and there was, sort of floating in the distance, and then you hear, we will rock you. And I think that is where we will bring our session to a close. Very, very nice. I actually didn't know whether we were going to end it that way or not, but yeah, you had the special Gourd Lord armor, and one of the things it has is the jack-o'-lantern thing.
Saved your butt.
That allowed you to do it, which, yes, saved your head. That would have been quite something. And as always, that call lightning is great stuff. Plus, Vivian just, oh man, never missing.
Vivian is a fighting machine.
If you ever did have a magical weapon with that, it would have been 10 times worse. My goodness.
You have shot them into confetti before I ever
Does
shot them.
Illyrian have bless? Can he bless a weapon?
Yes. Does that give it magical?
I think so. So we should.
No. Just adds to the attack roll.
Something to think about, I think, maybe for the next time. But good stuff, folks. So you met a Gourd Lord. You sang to it, saved a kid, and then you also you dealt with a headless horseman. I will leave aside the question of whether the final fate of the father and the mule, but we'll save that for another time. Yeah, pity Vivian doesn't get to keep the Vorpal sword. Vorpal axe. Vorpal axe.
But
no, it disappears.
I would learn axe.
You would learn axe. I asked you a question. This was a lot of fun to watch you folks go through this and to get a nice little combination of encounters here from Folktales of Gristwood. I will start with Shaun on the bottom of the column. Again, Shaun, thank you very much for being willing to do this again. I hope you were feeling okay, as we were going through it. And how did you feel about the session and Reginald's position in it and all that kind of good stuff, and wearing pumpkin armor? How'd you feel about everything?
The pumpkin armor was fun. I will say that I am very, very disappointed I didn't get to Hellish Rebuke.
Yeah.
So
sorry.
I will hold this against you for all time.
Listen, if you wanted me to have it hit your head so that you were decapitated and then Hellish rebuked him, I could have done that.
Oh,
But,
okay. I mean, if I can live with decapitated, then that's fine.
Yeah, you wouldn't live is the problem. You would have also become a servant of his, and he would be carrying around your head, and it would be...
Reginald won't put up with that. He serves nobody but himself.
Yes, so otherwise you could have hellishly rebuked him, but that was only assuming you were not hit by the critical death.
One day I will have a cool moment in the attack phase. One of these days.
Listen, your vicious mockery though was doing work, first of all, and secondly the pumpkin armor, and thirdly you had the most epic moment, which is where you resisted decapitation and you took him off his horse.
Can't beat that.
I mean, and that was you. If you hadn't put on the armor, and if you hadn't, made yourself into a pumpkin earlier on, and all that.
I mean, I don't even think I can revivify somebody who's been decapitated. So you would have been dead.
That would be
You'd
hard.
find a way. That would be the next adventure. You'd have to find out how to bring me back from the dead.
Right, that's true. Save Reginald.
They're dragging around Reginald's body and his harp.
And his head. I would assume he would have just mounted his head on the harp or something.
That might be much.
You could bring me back as the harp.
Okay.
There you go.
Just saying. Oh, it's fun. I had a lot of fun. Being a chaos agent is my lot in life. It's perfect.
It's good stuff. Where will we see you next, John? Where will the fun folks find you on the internets, etc.?
Well, theoretically, they will find me at skiffyandfanty.com on the Skiffy and Fanty Show. We're releasing a new episode some point tonight, so that'll be happening. And you can find us on all the iTunes and Spotify's and wherever you get podcast objects. I'm on the Twitters at Shaun Duke, and I'm also on all the other social media sites. So if for some reason you're looking for me, I'm there too. But go to Twitter to find me there first. And yeah, I don't know, that's me. You can find me places. I exist.
I exist. Awesome. And you have not lost your head as a result of everything. So thank you, Shaun. Appreciate it as always. Moving right up the line. Paul, once again, Call Lightning coming in clutch. Good work from them. Also,
Tempest Clerics are so much fun.
Yeah, and also let's not forget about the lesser restoration that kept Reginald from being paralyzed.
And yes, I did not want to abort out of commission for any longer than possible because those vicious mockeries save lives.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was really good, and you had a chance to otherwise act as Reginald's porter, pushing around the harp
I'm the straight man
with his stuff. How did you? But listen, you also managed to save an innocent kid, and and hung out with the Gourd Lord. It was a good night.
It was all good. It was all good.
How did you feel about today's session? Where will the folks find you?
I enjoyed it a lot because Tempest Clerics are fun. You get to do good and shock people in the course of doing good. What more can I ask for? And I love playing Dragonsborns because I play them relatively often these days. You can find me in most things as Prince Justin across the internets. You shouldn't come tonight because tonight there's a Speculate Fundraiser Marathon, but on most Saturday nights, you can find me on Christiana Ellis's channel playing D&D. I actually play, believe it or not, a bard of all things. But a very different kind of bard than Sir Reginald.
No, really? I can't imagine.
No, I could not match Sir Reginald. Xenophon is a Githzerai bard who speaks in rhyme and meter.
Ah, okay.
So yeah,
more Githzerai from Planescape Torment-ish type sound.
Correct.
Yeah. I dig it.
A chanting bard.
Yes, I'm a chanting bard and not afraid to vicious mockery people in rhyme and meter. It's fun.
Awesome.
So yeah, thank you so much, Greg. I love playing with you as a GM. You are one of the best GMs I've ever played with.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that very much. It's high praise. And thank you as well for the donations and the support. And we will see you down the line, obviously, around here and elsewhere.
Yes. As Shaun points out, when Shaun generally streams, I'm usually there.
That's true, and that's true. So you should definitely check that out when you're on. Absolutely, that's true. Thank you, Paul. Last but certainly not least, Trish, great work today. First of all, with the video that we talked about to begin with, but then obviously Vivian doing some serious work, especially on the nightmare. If that whole situation hadn't happened where Reginald had literally been like, "Come get me," and the guy was like, "All right," and like went to go get him, and whatever, that attack on the nightmare might have at least gotten him off his horse, which was step one, to do that. And you were just like wailing away, like just unbelievable. Even when you weren't getting max damage, you're like rolling it and it was still maxed out damage. So some very, very good rolls in that score. And Vivian, proving why a battle master can be freaking epic. How did you feel about today's session? Where will the fine folks find you next?
Well, I had a great time playing today. As always, you're a great GM. My partners here are great fun to play with, and Critical Crafting put together some really fun encounters and opponents for us. I had laughs, I had adrenaline, some really good moments today. So I really, really enjoyed this afternoon. Currently, you can find me on Twitter. If that implodes, at PE Matson. If that implodes, I'm on the Discords as TriffitEM. And I occasionally blog at www.whatsthewordnow.blogspot.com.
Awesome. Good on all accounts. And again, thank you, all three of you. I think you all work well together, and it was a lot of fun to see that play out. And we will have you back. I imagine Critical Crafting would not be amiss, not feel it amiss to have you back as part of their adventures again down the line. Chat, can we get some love for the amazing players of Trish, Paul, and Shaun, Vivian, Ilorian, and Reginald? And we will see them down the road one way or the other. Write us a campaign. Oh man, they'll be all about it. But thank the three of you so much, and I will see you folks down the line. Bye for now. Actually, I'll have the three of you depart if you don't mind, so I can keep the Zoom call.
No.
Up.
Yep, that's good. Ciao.
See you all soon.
Bye.
All right. So there they all go. Just about there. Okay. Lovely. All right. Good stuff. So everybody, let's explain what's going to happen next. So let me just fire up here my camera so I can make sure that we're good to go. And I'm going to transition over to that. Okay. Lovely. So we ran slightly behind, but that's not a big deal because all this is doing is it's getting in the way of a break, and that's not a big deal because it's me and I stream longer than this usually anyway, so it's fine. So we're all fine here. Thanks. How are you? So what we're going to do here, chat, is I am going to take, however, about a 10-minute break or so to get things ready. While I do that, I will probably run I'm going to run, first of all, Trifid's, let me fix that Twitch chat. I will probably run, there we go. Oh yes, raffle. Let's finish up the raffle first. Sorry, thank you. All right, let's see. The winner of the raffle is... All right, so Codel, or C0DEL, you have won the signed copy of Can You Sign My Tentacle from Brandon O'Brien. So what I would like you to do, please, is that is the Rising Tides in chat, and you're a first-time viewer, so that's awesome. So if you would be so kind as to drop a message, please, to the Rising Tides, then the Rising Tides can reach out and can get your information from you, like an address or ways to be able to get the book, etc. If Brandon Rising Tides, if you can confirm that that's cool. So Codel, if you can reach out, you just saw him speak in chat. That's the Rising Tides. Just send him a private message over Twitch, like a whisper over Twitch, and then he can arrange on how to get you that raffle. So that raffle, that book. So that would be good. Sound cool? Does that sound like a plan? Want to make sure that that's and is following. That's fine. It's totally a good time to be able to do that. Okay, so awesome. That is going to be the way that's going to work. So chat, I'm going to take now about 10 minutes. Now, while I do so, what we've got up next, Kodo just said woo, they're here. What we've got up next is going to be our Destiny 2 playthrough, which is going to be with myself, Brandon O'Brien, Michael R. Underwood, and Noelle is going to be helping us out. But we have raised so far $200.52 of our $500 goal, which is great so far, but we do have further to go. Our next raffle is going to consist of Michael R. Underwood's Geekomancy series. I believe Turbo Tango can confirm for me it's all the series, but I don't want to speak out of school, so let me know if that's right. I think that's the whole series, which again will be signed and sent to you, but tell me if I'm wrong about that, Mike, and if I'm over-promising, in which case I apologize. But Mike's stuff is going to be next. All 4 books, 3 novels, and a novella. Okay, awesome. Which is going to be coming to you, and that's going to be at the $400 level. So we are only $199.48, if I'm adding that up properly, until we get to that level. And once we get there, we'll only be $100 away from our first goal that we set for ourselves for this evening. So please, please, please do that. Please do contribute. You can contribute either at mrucontest@gmail.com, or you can contribute by supporting us on our Patreon, which has already gone up to 12 patrons, 54 per month, which is awesome. That's exactly what we want. More support on the Patreon and more support through this. The reason we do this fundraiser is it allows us to produce shows more frequently. So we can put out those shows more frequently, and by doing that, we can bring you more content of this nature. We can bring you more stuff like this over the course of time. And not just D&D, by the way. We do a lot of non-D&D stuff. Blades in the Dark, Court of Blades, Girl by Moonlight. We're going to be doing some Beowulf as well down the line that I'm going to be GMing. And we do a whole bunch of stuff that isn't just D&D. So a lot of it is tabletop play. And you can support that by supporting our Patreon. And if you do that, then we get benefits to everybody. By supporting the Patreon, you also can get access to like behind the scenes videos and things like this. So please do consider jump on board. As was said right now, if you do a $10 Patreon pledge, you get some cool benefits. It counts as $10 per month. If you do what Arudinel did, which is just basically pledge $10 a month, that basically means that if it's up for a year, that's $120, but you are only spending that $10 a month to be able to do that, which obviously really helps us out. So please consider doing that. And then once you've done so, please let us know. Please either tell us in chat or please private message me, whisper me, or you can also, I guess, whisper Turbo Tango or the Rising Tides, and let us know know that you have contributed if you want to do so anonymously. If you just want to be anonymous about it, then you can just whisper us and we will update it and honor that. But if you wish to be noticed or have said, like, have us all praise you with great praise, feel free to do that in chat and to tell us what it is that you've contributed to the cause. And that would be very much appreciated. So next up is Destiny 2. We're going to be up here in about 7 to 10 minutes. So I'm going to go get stuff ready and then we'll be back. I'm going to leave you all for the moment with the amazing video that we started out with. So please stick with us. And we will be back in just about 10 minutes with some Destiny 2. Remember, later tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have Iori Kusano GMing a D&D one-shot of Blades in the Deep, which is a Blades in the Dark, Waterdeep dragon heist mashup, which you will not want to miss with the Strange Friends. So that's what we've got going on. And I don't know if you're in it, Dragon, but maybe we shall see. So I'll be back in just a bit. Please spread the word. Let people know. Retweet this stream, too. Let people know that we're here and bring more people in. And please support us if you possibly can. Thanks for all the support so far. Thank you to Critical Crafting for that adventure. Thank you to Trish, Paul, and Shaun for starting us out so well. And I'll be back to you folks in a bit.
Oh, hey, guess what is up today? A very special stream. It's all part of a scheme to play games and raise money. Oh, what? Your wallet is tight shut? Then still join our elite. At least send out a tweet. Be dramatic or funny. This fate will be great, just you wait. And if you can donate, we will not peculate. It all goes to speculate. What's first? Arguably the worst. Some skiffy fanty friends just playing with pre-gens back from their 3-part one-shot. Again, critical crafting plan with Arvan as GM, Shaun Triffid, Prince Justin, spooky D&D fun plot. This fate will be great, just you wait. And if you can donate, we will not peculate. It all goes to speculate. What's next? Humanity is hexed, but this we know is true. The game Destiny 2 provides sharp conversation. By whom? 3 authors in the room. Greg Wilson should be good. Brendan and Underwood on world-building narration. This fate will be great, just you wait. And if you can donate, we will not peculate. It all goes to speculate. Not least, the last course of this feast, peanut butter chocolate, to Waterdeep's old rut. Blades in the Dark adds new twist. Strange Friends will be the evening's end. GM'd by Iori should be a great story, so fear no incongruousness. This fate will be great, just you wait. And if you can donate, we will not peculate. It all goes to speculate.
Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome back, Arvanauts, to our fundraiser marathon part 2. Now, I'm a little concerned about this because the sound is not behaving as expected on the PS5, and I'm a little worried that the OBS is going to require me to restart OBS, which I hate with a passion because it does not like it when there are audio source switchings. So I may or may not have to do that. I hope I do not. But in any case, we are continuing on with our Speculate Fundraiser Marathon. So now people popped in the donation advice is mrucontest@gmail.com. We're up to $200.52. Once we reach that $400, we will do another raffle. And of course, $500 is our goal for today. We'd love to get past that if we can, but $500 is the goal. So please, 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 if you have not already done so, please consider supporting Speculate. And while you're at it, you will get access to some information, some behind-the-scenes videos and things like that about Speculate. And most importantly, you'll be contributing to allowing us to produce content more steadily and more regularly, and most importantly, more frequently, which we'll be able to do if we have enough money for editing and the like. So that's why we're trying to do this today. We've already had $200.52 donated, which is lovely, and hopefully we can continue that push as we go through to Destiny 2. So speaking of Destiny 2, I am now going to unmute myself and apologize unreservedly for having interrupted anyone that I may because I couldn't hear them. And then I'm going to unmute them. And last but certainly not least, I'm going to go over to reveal. I hear sound, so we're good. Okay. So now, hold on a second. So that means I'm going to stop recording.